and for the early release of the American hostages.
All right, 10:21 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We've got Stephen Portnoy coming up after the 10:30 news. He is CBS News Radio's White House correspondent. We'll get what we know, get some up-to-date information on the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago yesterday. Did you guys hear about that? Did that make it onto your radar?
I think I might have heard something about it.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal last night.
Tell me more.
So can I note this quickly with Donald Trump at 6:51 confirmed that the FBI executed a search warrant at his residence in Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago. The story was broken 20 minutes earlier, initially by a Florida political journalist, Peter Schorsch. I think that's how you say it, Schorsch. And I just have noted this is like one of the important elements of having local news. This was a local news reporter who knew
he got it first.
Who knew the area. Yep. A Florida political reporter, local reporter, broke it first. And I will say there were national reporters from the New York Times, the Washington Post, who talked about how important local news beats are. This is a major story broken by a local reporter. Grateful for the KMOX newsroom. And
that's why we have a newsroom.
It is why we have a newsroom. And it's also why I do think it's bad for society that across the country we're gutting local newsrooms.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's
newspapers
so bad.
and I know they may not be as profitable as they once were, but they still can turn a profit. And these venture capitalists like Alden Capital who come in and take over and just gut the place, and they've done that to so many different outlets around the country. It's just it's not good. I mean, it's decidedly not good because it isn't just an industry where people work. Mm-hmm. It's an industry where people work and they help our democracy move forward. Because if we don't have good local news around the country, all we have to rely on is the national stuff. Yeah. And the national stuff is not necessarily serving us well all the time.
Right. And as far as going back to the search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, we don't know a lot right now.
No.
We haven't seen the warrant. We haven't seen the application for a warrant. We just know what sources close to the situation or familiar with the investigation have told the New York Times or the Washington Post, and that is most likely it's related to allegations that Trump and maybe others in his administration violated the Presidential Records Act by bringing classified documents to Mar-a-Lago rather than sending them over to the National Archives.
Right.
That's what that's the extent of what we know. And again, that information is assumed from people close to the investigation.
Right. The other thing that we know is that a lot of people have already decided they know exactly what this is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's mind-boggling to me because at the same time, we've got one segment of people, mostly it's on social media, and maybe I should just not pay attention to Twitter on a story like this, but it's hard not to because everybody's flooding, your timeline with various
people
things.
Showed up outside his house.
Yeah, I mean,
and then started to protest.
There's one part already that's like doing all the break out the popcorn memes. It's starting. Yep. And then the other side is, it's just a witch hunt. We aren't going to believe anything we hear anyway. It's like, okay, can we let it play out? Can we at least see what the warrant says? What comes of the search? Are there any charges? Is there going to be a grand jury? Can we just see before we decide in advance whether or not this is a celebratory day for the left or a celebratory day for the right because we're proving that it's just a witch hunt? Like our lack of ability to just wait for the end of the story irritates the hell out of me.
Well, first of all, nobody should be celebrating anything because none of this is good.
It's like the fact
that it's bad that the FBI feels like they have to do this or there's a case there or something. I mean, it's all bad. This isn't good, no matter what the outcome is. But you are 100% right. That the first thought when I hear that the FBI has searched a home, my first thought, regardless of who it is, my first thought is, oh, what'd they do?
Well,
what'd they do wrong?
And I think don't you always say too, if the feds are jumping in, they've got pretty solid evidence.
Well, they would have to. Like you can't just show up to the guy's property all willy-nilly. You have to have some kind of evidence that something has happened or probable cause that something has happened. And that goes for anybody. And I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be, but I think the only thing you can do is be open-minded listen to what comes out, listen to what the evidence actually is, and then go from there. I also would argue and ask that people, if you were all about the investigation into the Clinton emails in 2016, when the FBI announced that they were going to investigate that 2 weeks before the election, if you were all fist pumping over that, then you should be fist pumping over this too. Have the same energy for both things. If you thought that was okay, you need to think this criminal investigation is okay. You can't just pick one that you like, or, decide I don't like this one because it's my guy. It's my guy. I don't like it.
That's the game right now, though, right?
Well, it's unfortunate because that means that we're not being honest.
Because we're getting the same thing. The same people that were angry in 2016 are the ones posting popcorn memes now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hate the memes. Stop with the memes. Stop with the celebrate. I like memes. Like these. I don't like these memes. I don't like celebratory memes over this kind of stuff, like the one you shared where it's Hillary and Obama and Biden.
I don't even want to describe it.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, stop doing it. It does not help at all. It makes you look juvenile.
Well, it also just does nothing but turn it into even more of a fight.
Yes.
Right? You're
That's not what this is.
It's too busy. We're all too busy trying to own each other. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you got owned, dude. You got owned, and we're gonna own the list.
I hate it so much. I hate it.
It's the worst.
The way that, and it doesn't happen, I don't think, as much. But a lot of them would be blogs or, internet websites. It's very rare. Internet websites. That's redundant. It would.
Okay, Grandpa.
It's a series of tubes.
All those computer sites.
A series of tubes.
No, but it's like, you never see it in the Washington Post or the New York Times. But when they say this guy destroys somebody else with their commentary, like destroy. Why is everything a freaking fight?
It doesn't have to be an own.
It's so frustrating, and I'm tired of it.
Well, here's what we're going to do next. We're not going to be doing any of the, trying to figure all of this out in advance. Nobody's going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to tell you what we know, and we're going to hear it from Stephen Portnoy, CBS News White House correspondent, when we come back after the news.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
You want some real weird stuff?
Yes.
I'm in one of those moods.
Have it.
What's the difference between real life and dreams? How do we really know that this is real life? Because every morning or whatever in the night when I wake up from a dream, I'm surprised to be in this world. Dream life or real life, whatever, like, oh my God, I was in the radio business and I was bald. And then you wake up, you're like, oh, that's right, crap.
It's a dream come true. The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
At 10:30, cloudy skies and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. The common flu may make a comeback later this year and with a vengeance after a 2-year break. because of COVID-19. Data from the Southern Hemisphere, which is in its flu season, shows cases surpassing pre-pandemic levels. Health experts watch data in Australia, where flu season runs from May through September, to get a sense of what is possible for Americans. After the disruption of online learning, first-year college students are arriving on U.S. campuses unprepared for the demands of college-level work, according to experts. Colleges from New Jersey to California have expanded summer bridge programs, aiming to get students up to speed in math and English before they arrive this fall. Renters and homeowners in St. Louis County, the city of St. Louis and St. Charles County, who were impacted by flash flooding in July, may apply for FEMA disaster assistance. FEMA says for needs not covered by insurance or other sources, FEMA may be able to provide grant money that does not have to be repaid, including for temporary hotel stays and basic home repairs. You can apply online at disasterassistance.gov. Former Cardinal Jason Hayward will soon be a former Cubby. The right fielder was told yesterday, a day before his 33rd birthday, that he'd be released from Chicago at the end of the season. He will still get paid $22 million by the club next year to honor the contract. Watch for a stalled vehicle northbound 270 at Dorset Road. It's on the right shoulder, and debris cleanup should be wrapping up. Eastbound 70 past Hanley Road. That should be wrapping up any minute now. And then there's a stall eastbound 70 past Hanley Road. That is on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast, not as humid, but a shower is possible this afternoon. It will be cloudy, the high around 80. Sticky tonight, perhaps a shower or two early. Look for an overnight low of 70. Right now it's cloudy and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
You know those headlines that make you stop scrolling and actually read an article? I'm Mike Rogers. Those are the kinds of stories I'm diving into on my podcast, Something Offbeat, like the caterpillar infestation in Maine that had us rethinking our relationship with insects.
We were talking about a time 300 million years ago, if you can imagine. There was a dragonfly. It had a 2-foot wingspan.
Just search for Something Offbeat in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
KMOX News Time is 10:32.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in the neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's preferred James Hardy and Pella window expert. Add curb appeal and value to your home. Call Banner Construction, 314-569-1050.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
An unspeakable tragedy. John Lennon, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival.
All right, 10:35 on the show here on KMOX. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Stores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And we're happy to be joined by Stephen Portnoy, CBS News Radio's White House correspondent. You'll find him on Twitter at his name, at Stephen Portnoy. Good morning, Stephen. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's good to be with you.
Stephen, I know there is a lot we don't know yet, and I think especially now, right now, it is not the time to speculate. So can you set the table with what we do know and what we are waiting to find out?
Well, what we do know is that the FBI executed a search warrant yesterday at the Mar-a-Lago club where the former president has his Florida residence. And what we're told is that the FBI approached the Secret Service, which provides security on the property, in advance of the service of the search warrant. That the search warrant was served at about 10 o'clock yesterday morning, and that it took most of the day, about an 8-hour span of time. What we don't know is what was taken. What we understand from the former president's statement is that Donald Trump's safe was broken into, in Mr. Trump's words. And what we're waiting on is a formal list, an inventory, if you will, of what items were seized by the FBI as a function of the search warrant. But what we also are told by sources is that this is related not to January 6th, but to the fact that, or to the notion that, the former president brought with him from this White House classified material and had it stored in boxes or in other ways at Mar-a-Lago. And the FBI was part of an investigation that was initiated by the National Archives earlier this year. The Archivist of the United States sent a letter to the Justice Department in February asking for an investigation upon the National Archives' determination that in 15 boxes of material that was kept at Mar-a-Lago and then turned over to the National Archives, classified material was found. And so it follows that the logical leap that we'll take is that the FBI was searching for possibly more classified information stored at Mar-a-Lago.
So the belief then is that my question here is, why did they not just wait and ask for him to produce all the material that they were still waiting on? Is there a lack of trust that he would do that?
Yeah, it's a fair question. We have the same question. We don't have an answer, but the former president put in his statement last night that he was working with the relevant agencies to provide material. So why the FBI felt it necessary to take this rather extraordinary step? I mean, remember what we're talking about. This is the property owned by a former president, material that belongs to the public, that potentially involves some of the nation's most important secrets and closely guarded secrets. And you have this specter of cooperation, but you also have reports and just yesterday, photographs emerging of evidence that the former president sought to destroy documents and try to flush them down the toilet. Yesterday morning, Axios reported and published photographs from Maggie Haberman's forthcoming book, in which she describes and depicts how the former president would rip pieces of paper with his own handwriting and throw them in the toilet to discard them permanently.
So what do we know about kind of what's next, Stephen? I mean, when do you think we find out a little bit more about what in particular was on the warrant? And I know right now that can't be just released by the government, but certainly could be by those in Trump's circle in terms of knowing what's going on there. Is that something that we're going to eventually get to see, in your opinion?
You know, it's hard to know. The FBI most likely filed or applied for this warrant and received it under seal. And so right now we are operating essentially in the dark. There may be some information that could come out soon, perhaps even from the former president, as to what he was told was taken by the FBI when they left. Because typically when a search warrant is served and items are removed from the property, there's some sort of a record that's handed over to reflect what has been removed. But for the moment, we don't have those specifics. But you can presume that it is the documents that the FBI was looking for. And here's one thing to keep in mind. Look, the former president is engaged and his supporters are engaged in a fair amount of whataboutism here, which is the suggestion that Hillary Clinton, back in her time as Secretary of State in the first term of Barack Obama, operated government work on her personal server, which she stored at her personal residence. And on that server was held some of the nation's most closely guarded secrets, right? That's what we can fairly assess. That's what the historical record shows. But in this case, what we're talking about is a private residence where it's very possible that foreign officials may go to visit the former president. And I think it's a fair assessment that the current administration or any administration might be concerned about the existence of classified material, unsecured, potentially falling into the wrong foreign hands.
and I think it's because of the highly sensitive nature of this investigation that we can assume the decision to execute the search warrant was made at the highest levels of the Justice Department. We don't know. I mean, I guess it could have even been Attorney General Merrick Garland. Will we ever find out who made the decision to execute the search warrant?
If they tell us. But for the moment, the question is being aired publicly, and it's not just Republicans who are calling on the FBI to share its rationale. Today, the former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, the prominent politician who I think has just formed his own party, Andrew Yang, said the same on Twitter, essentially that the FBI owes the public an explanation. So far, they haven't given one.
So the warrant is under seal, but that means the government can't release the contents of it if Trump wants to, because there are legal experts I've seen over the last 10 or so hours who are saying if he wants, he can put that warrant out there for everybody to see what the detailed items are that they are looking for. He is allowed to do that, right?
Well, I mean, he had no obligation to let word be known that he was the subject of this search and seizure yesterday, and he was out in front with a lengthy statement to let the world know. The response, by the way, has been remarkable on the right. I mean, you saw people streaming out to the Mar-a-Lago to wave flags and show their support for the former president, and the former president seemed to propagate the notion that he is the subject of a political witch hunt / political persecution. So he didn't have to do any of that. He sought to do that yesterday.
Stephen, I know two things can be true at once, and that is that in the Constitution, there's nothing that protects a former president from being above the law. A former president can break the law and then have to be under investigation. But we also know that it is a unique precedent, maybe a dangerous precedent, if the outgoing parties willy-nilly under investigation. So can you put into context what we're looking at here historically with the FBI raid of Trump's residence?
Yeah, there is no historical precedent. I mean, look, or precedent. The fact is, you have a former president who we now know took with him material that belongs to the American public. I mean, the stuff that should be in the National Archives. This debate about whether it belongs to him personally or not should have been settled in the 1970s when the Presidential Records Act was enacted. That said, the former president and his supporters, certainly his family members, have been out public in the last 18 hours saying that this is an extraordinary overreach, a prosecutorial, misjudgment on the part of the Justice Department and the FBI to take this step to retrieve these documents when the former president was willing to cooperate.
There are people who are either trying to draw comparisons between this investigation with the FBI and what was done with the Clinton emails in 2016 by the FBI, that if it's okay for one side, it should be okay for the other. Is there any real comparison between these two events?
Well, look, it's not quite the same. I mean, Hillary Clinton was the subject of an FBI investigation. She testified, or rather, I should say she was interviewed by the FBI about it. There was a thorough scrubbing of the server to the extent that it could have been scrubbed by the State Department. And it was the subject of FOIA lawsuits by conservative activists. And the idea was to air as much out of it as possible. And, the former FBI director, James Comey, gave an extraordinary press conference in which he tried to divine former Secretary Clinton's intent to determine in his mind that it didn't constitute a criminal act. So the story of that was largely told, even as the former president correctly says that a fair amount of the emails that were on that server had been deleted, 30,000 plus. And, former Secretary Clinton suggested that they were related to her daughter's wedding or something to that effect. Look, there is no precedent, however, for a former president to take with him, since the passage of the Presidential Records Act, such a large amount of documents that ought to be stored for posterity in the National Archives.
Stephen, very much appreciate your work. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to talking again.
You bet.
You got it. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News Radio White House correspondent, just kind of laying it out. What do we know? And what we know is the very basics at this point, and hopefully in the not too distant future. I do think the point was raised in one, and they may have been your question, Amy, might have been yours, Raj, but in the answer about whether or not the FBI needs to somehow let people know what's going on, it's probably a good idea.
And I would say the sooner the better, unless it compromises the investigation somehow, because the longer you allow politics to take hold of this and people to spin it to their benefit, the harder it's going to be to break those opinions that people are forming as off of that spin. So the sooner they do it, the better. But I don't know what precludes them or prevents them from doing it. I have no idea.
I mean, clearly they don't want to jeopardize whatever their investigation is, but you're facing a lot of doubt, and you can say it doesn't matter, but it does right now.
But I just have a hard time believing there's nothing there. I mean, then you know what I mean? Like, it might be that there's nothing there, but there has to be reasonable evidence for them to think that there is something there.
Right.
Because you don't just go do this unless you really feel like you've got something.
Right. But we've seen in the past,
sure,
people have thought there was evidence of something. I'm not even talking about with Trump. I'm just talking about investigations in general. And it's not what you think, or what you're looking for isn't there, or it doesn't show you what you were looking to find out about, or maybe it shows you that there was no concern. It's all over the board right now. And my advice is let's just not guess. Let it play out. We're going to know at some point. All right, we're going to hit what's trending in the world next here on KMOX.
Maybe you've been to enough barbecues and outdoor parties to know that your outdoor space needs a little work. That is fine. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is waiting for your call, because Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. For more than 54 years, they have been doing quality work with quality craftsmanship, building people beautiful decks, sunrooms, screen rooms, patios, pergolas, retaining walls, and oh yes, fences of all kinds. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best, a third-generation family-owned company. Tom and Sherry Thiel take pride in every project they do. They stand behind every project, so you know that this is going to be something that lasts for years to come. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. They do free in-home estimates at no obligation, free project design. Visit them in the Chesterfield Valley if you'd like to see it in person, or they'll come to you. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA-MCO.
I'm sure that you've felt the shift in the real estate market and have wondered how it will affect you. Is it time to buy, or is it time to sell? What are your options? Hi, I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Give us a call and we can discuss a strategy that works for your individual needs in this ever-changing market. Quality and experience at a more affordable rate. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-4444.
Free Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
If you need last-minute hires in no time, you need Indeed. Their integrated hiring solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
When it's hot enough to fry a chicken in a bird bath, when it's real deal Holyfield hot, Jerry Kelly knows winning means a cool, comfortable customer. Need cool like that? Make the winning call.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly.
JerryKelly.com. You can make our city safer by empowering people to change their lives, make safe and smart decisions, and find meaning. Learn more at missionstl.org/KMOX.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444. Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On the show.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
Right, our trending segment is sponsored by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. A lot of things going on. You guys, anybody have dibs on what they want to jump on first? I mean, obviously the number one trending story is the FBI raid, but we've already touched on that, so we don't need to hit that again for now.
Sure, I've got something.
Let's go, Amy.
Go.
Dive in.
Rainwater is no longer safe to drink anywhere on Earth, scientists say. Quote, forever chemicals have been found by scientists in rainwater in most locations on the planet, leading to concerns over the safety of consuming rainwater. Do you know what?
Ruh-roh.
I remember this when I was in first grade. I remember hearing that you can't drink rainwater anywhere. I also heard that you can't drink out of any creek or stream anywhere in the world, no matter how remote the mountains are, because there are things in it. And I don't know.
Amoebas, probably.
Fish poop.
It's amoeba.
It is.
And fish poop.
Yep.
Yeah, but the fish poop floats downstream. Maybe you
So
go to
does the water.
Maybe you go to the source. At any rate, my guess is there are I wouldn't go to San Francisco and leave out a bucket, or LA and then drink the rainwater. But I would think if you're relatively remote, there's got to be a creek or some area where the rainwater wouldn't necessarily kill you, right? I don't know.
The story doesn't say it's going to kill you.
No, it doesn't.
It does say it could make you sick.
I was always under the impression that it was about if the water is moving, if the water is running quickly, then it should be okay, because stagnant water is the water you don't want to drink out of.
So that is something.
That's what I had heard.
Yes. And you have to be careful when you're in the mountains. So when I go hiking, my friend that I hike with always goes into the lakes. We'll be at 12,000 feet, 13,000 feet, right? There's snow in these little lakes and she'll get in. But I heard you have to be careful because some of those lakes have some crazy bacteria in them because the water is not moving.
We just got, I heard on TIAM this morning about swimming, being careful of the brain eating, what do you call it?
It's the brain eating amoeba.
Yeah.
Parasite.
But it's also like they said, it almost never happens.
Well, you're supposed to keep your nose closed.
Yeah, but there's 150 cases ever.
I think Ranj and I should both fear this.
I do.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't get into water.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Except for the shower.
You don't go in the lake?
Yeah, I don't go in lakes.
I
don't do lakes.
I don't really do lakes. And it has to be a clean lake.
Nope, no lakes.
I work with aliens. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Where?
I was like, really?
Yeah, you guys.
Really?
Who doesn't go in the lake?
They live.
It has to be a certain lake. I would go in
Lake Michigan.
non-boaty lakes.
Well, I did listen to the KMOX story you're referencing, and what I took away from it is they want you to wear nose clips, and now I have an excuse to wear a nose clip. I've never gotten to do it.
You could always wear them.
But I never had. Now I have a reason to say I'm wearing a nose
When
clip,
you
guys.
jump in, do you hold your nose?
No, because you breathe out. That's how you're
Right.
supposed to do it.
I
So
did-
the
I
water
just-
doesn't go
I
up in
just
your
thought
brain.
Maybe you held your nose, and that's why you want to wear a nose.
No. Hey, speaking of water, Aquaport in St. Louis County is a water park in Maryland Heights.
Okay.
It is closing for the season
Oh no,
because of
a pool pooper.
no.
Sorry,
She's like just channeling Caddyshack.
E. coli. I don't know.
They could clean that out.
Yeah.
No, they're closing because of flooding, because of water.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that outrageous? Like, it's not their fault, but the irony of being a water park and you have to close
Because you have too much water.
because you have too much water.
That's pretty funny. I mean, it's not. Funny,
It's not
but
funny
it's
for them, but
ironic.
I
It's
know what you're
ironic,
saying.
Yeah.
In
the irony is
California, someone's reading that headline and they're throwing their paper down, going, "Unbelievable."
they have a water park.
That's got too much
Water
water.
parks. There are no water parks in California, right?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there are.
sure there are.
Yeah, because I think on an episode of Full House they went to one.
Just go to the ocean. It's right there. There are sharks in it, but you can go over there.
They do not have big slides.
What?
And at the ocean, they don't have a big slide there. They don't have like all the fun things. And yes, there are lots of
really?
water parks in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. Hey, BYOS.
What time is
Bring
it?
your own slide.
Disneyland there.
They all say that they're closed, but maybe it's because it's early in the morning. Because it's about to be
Oh,
9
yeah.
a.m. there.
That's probably it.
Yeah. I know. Maybe they have to close for the water problems. I don't know.
Yes.
They kind of weird though if you have to like budget water, but they get to keep running. Be a little odd.
That wouldn't be fair.
No.
How am I
would
going
not
to
be.
water my lawn?
80s week continues when the show continues after the news.
I've loved dancing for as long as I can remember, so my doctor really encouraged me to go back to it. Regular checkups, thorough exams, a whole wellness plan tailored just for me.
At Oak Street Health, we specialize in exceptional care for older adults. Our dedicated care teams provide the personalized care you need to stay healthy and live life more fully.
Age may be just a state of mind, but I mind it a lot less when I feel good.
Get the care you deserve. Visit oakstreethealth.com.
Have higher mortgage interest rates put you on the sideline of buying a new home? Well, not anymore. TR Hughes Homes and our preferred mortgage lender have teamed up to reduce your mortgage interest rate on all brand new, ready now TR Hughes inventory homes. Example, a 5.5% rate would be slashed to 2.5% the first year, 3.5% the second year, then 4.5% the third year. 3 years of below market interest rates on all TR Hughes completed inventory homes. Supply is limited, so don't wait to take advantage of this unbelievable offer. Certain restrictions apply and must qualify. Visit trhughes.com for details.
It's ridiculous over here in Illinois. It really is.
How much worse does it have to get?
So expensive nowadays. I wait to the last minute, hoping that the prices will go down.
How much longer can you wait for relief? Governor Pritzker's doubling the state's gas tax gave Illinois some of the highest gas prices in the nation, yet the potholes in Chicago could swallow a CTA bus. Now Pritzker is forcing businesses to lie to their customers for his benefit.
Only thing Illinois is doing is delaying a gas tax increase and calling that a tax cut.
In Illinois, you have to sue to be able to tell the truth.
Gas station owners in Illinois are suing the state over a new law they claim violates their free speech rights.
How much longer will you be made to play the fool? In the last 4 years, Pritzker added another $2,165 to the tax burden Illinois families shoulder, which was already the highest in the nation. How much more of Pritzker can you afford? How much worse does it have to get before you make a change? Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
KMOX, KEZK, HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey friends, Matza Matt here for Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. You know, so many people are stuck in the moat of mundaneness when it comes to their frozen pizza choice. Same cardboard crust, flavorless sauce, second-rate cheese. You know, all the assumptions of a frozen pizza. Well, it's time to ditch the downer and throw out that theory by diving into a Brewpub Lots of Matza Pizza. Thin, cracker-like crust, a bold, tasty sauce, high-quality meat and veggie toppings, and bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning mozzarella cheese. There is nothing humdrum about a Brewpub pizza. See for yourself. Snag one today from the frozen pizza section at your local grocery store.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near to dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's cloudy and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. More on the search warrant executed by the FBI yesterday at former President Trump's Florida estate, Mar-a-Lago. It's part of an investigation into his alleged destruction and removal of White House records after leaving office. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge.
Former prosecutors and former FBI agents we spoke to said the FBI and the Justice Department would have to have a high level of confidence that what they were looking for was at the former president's Florida residence. And they said to us it would require sign off not only by the courts, but very senior people would have visibility, at the very least, within the FBI as well as the Justice Department here in Washington.
White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
The White House would not comment when asked about it last night. They referred all questions to the Justice Department. One senior White House official, however, telling CBS News there was no formal warning in advance that this was happening. That's standard. They wouldn't be expected to find out.
The leader of St. Louis Public Schools is retiring.
Superintendent Kelvin Adams says he will leave the district at the end of the year and will do everything in his power to support efforts to find a new leader. Adams says they've accomplished amazing things over the past 14 years, including bringing the district to full accreditation, doubling pre-K capacity, balancing 13 consecutive budgets, and increasing graduation rates. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Serena Williams says she is ready to step away from tennis.
Williams told Vogue magazine she doesn't like the word retirement, but wants to focus on having another child and her business interest. Williams is playing this week in Toronto at a hardcourt tournament and hints the upcoming U.S. Open may be her last tournament.
I don't know. I guess there's just a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. I'm getting closer to the light.
A reporter said Williams must be joking.
I'm not joking.
I'm Ed Donahue.
Just days after receiving a standing ovation at Busch Stadium.
Big hug from Yadier Molina, who had gone out in front of home plate to give Matt his due, and the crowd, well, they don't want to stop. They want to keep cheering for Carpenter, and they are.
Matt Carpenter broke his left foot hitting a foul ball in the Yankees-Mariners game last night. Carp told reporters afterwards he's hopeful he can come back in pinstripes and contribute. The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, CBS's Jim Krasula reports on tough times for an online marketplace.
Groupon is laying off 500 workers, nearly 15% of its global workforce. The Chicago-based online marketplace is seeking to cut costs amid falling revenues. Groupon saw a 42% decline in revenue and a $90 million loss during the second quarter.
Groupon in Chicago has about 3,400 employees. It had more than 11,000 worldwide at its peak in 2012. The Dow from Stifel is down 26 points to 32,806. And we've got some debris on 70 East past Hanley that's just been cleared. Also a stall 70 East past Tucker on the right shoulder and 270 North at Dorset on the right shoulder. Weather sponsored by Midwest Money.
KMOX AccuWeather, variably cloudy, sticky the rest of the day into the afternoon. A shower thunderstorm around for the city and near suburbs. Heavier rain and rumbles down to the south and southwest of the city. Repeated downpours there may cause some flooding. Around 80 in the St. Louis metro this afternoon. Couple of showers early, down to 70 tonight. Warm, not all that humid, up to 84 tomorrow. And then almost to 90. Real feels mid-90s Thursday before another push of drier air coming in for the upcoming weekend. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Justine DeVore on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Clean out your cabinets and stop by Midwest Money where you'll receive top dollar for your coins, currency, jewelry, and antiques, because isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? Call 481-0770 or go to MidwestMoneyCo.com, MidwestMoneyCo.com. Cloudy 73 Florissant, cloudy 72 St. Peters, and cloudy 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
It is 11:05 on the show here on KMOX, and we're doing 80s Week this week. Obviously, we'll be sticking with breaking news and big stories when there's information, when there's stuff that's new, when there are things that need to get discussed, like last hour, we will definitely continue to do those things. But when we're not doing those things, we've got a lot of 80s stuff for you, celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 82 World Series team. Glenn Brummer is going to be joining us after the 11:30 news.
Nice.
We talked to Ken Oberkfell yesterday, Tom Hurd tomorrow, right? And it's Thursday, Dane Org. So, we got a bunch of dudes that are going to be joining us, talk about that 82 season. And we'll obviously be taking your texts on the 80s. We got a draft later on, right, Ron?
Oh, the movie, not movie, TV theme song draft.
So the best TV theme songs. I get the first pick. I already know what I'm picking, and I'm not telling.
I also believe that the TV theme songs in the 80s, probably the golden age of theme songs.
Yeah,
because
the golden age of bad theme songs.
Yeah, amazing.
They're amazingly bad.
Now they don't really exist now. They're over. I feel like theme songs are over. I mean, there's like instrumental, but there's no like good cheesy 80s lyrics.
Right. They have the instrumental that you recognize, like The Office is the iconic instrumental. But what you don't have is the TV sitcom where the lyrics to the theme song tell the entire backstory
of the show. Right.
So 314-436-7900 if you'd like to play along with 80s Week as we go through these various topics. So we played Olivia Newton-John there, obviously, in honor of her. She passed away yesterday, which surprised me because I knew she was sick. I knew that there had been something going on. But even like when you saw her in photos or on a TV interview recently, if you just saw her,
she looked good.
She looked like she was 10, 15 years younger than she actually
She'd been
was.
battling cancer for 30 years.
Wow.
30 years.
With breast cancer, right?
Yes, I believe so. And what's so interesting, too, is not just that you're battling the disease that it wreaks havoc on your body, but, the treatment, if you're getting chemo, if you are getting radiation, all of that is so hard to endure. And the fact that she dealt with cancer for 30 years is extraordinary. But she did have some of the biggest hits in the 1970s and 80s. It's funny because
that song was 81, which is partly why we picked it, because it truly is 80s. The Grease stuff was 70s.
I think that was from her album that didn't do very well, though. Xanadu. I think that was the one that.
I don't know. I just know it was released in 81, and I don't know that there are any other like music videos that sum up the 80s better than that video.
Yeah. Well, she won a Grammy, I think, for I Honestly Love You. So she was a country singer, like a kind of a country song, and won a Grammy for that. But when you think of her, you think of Grease, right?
I mean, first, yes. Even hate that movie.
Of course you hate it.
Well, I don't like musicals. I mean, it's just right out of the gate, it's already got a negative.
It is a goofy
When
movie.
I was a kid, I liked her.
I think all right, there are a bunch of movies that are in the pantheon of great movies that everybody quotes and everybody talks about that I've only seen once. Like Grease seems like the kind of movie that if you like it and you've seen it, you've probably seen it 6 times or you've seen it a dozen times. Or The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, it's been a dozen times. Like I've seen, and we talked about The Princess Bride yesterday. I've only seen each of those one time each, which is strange because everybody quotes them and talks about them nonstop. And I'm like a one and done kind of person.
Well, it's funny watching Grease now. And I'm kind of like you. I've seen bits and pieces of it, when it's on TV. I probably have only sat down and watched it once. I'm not obsessed with Grease in the way a lot of people are. But she was 29 when she was playing a senior in high school. And when you do look at all those people in that movie, it's hilarious that we all were okay with those being high schoolers.
Well, wasn't that the same thing with Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future?
Except that he actually looked like that.
He looked like he could have been a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Those people did not look that
no,
age.
No. I was talking to a friend earlier this morning who said she watched that in high school, Grease, and in her mind, she was looking at them as if they were in college, even though she's like, I was in high school and I recognize these people are not my age. This is not what my class looks like.
Yeah. John Travolta looked like he was 40 back then. He really did. Man, he is getting left back a lot in that high school. Poor John Travolta. Why does the car fly away at the end?
So
there's a theory.
There's a theory.
There's a conspiracy theory about Grease. You want to know what the conspiracy theory is?
I know it.
I do. I know this is not an 80s movie technically, but Grease 2 is.
Okay.
I need to know.
Okay.
Yep.
I need to know why Greece ends with a car flying
Amy, would
away.
you like to be the conspiracy theorist, or do you want me to lay it out?
Yes. Is it that one of the guys dies in a race?
No.
Right?
Well,
And
kind
it's
of.
a
The
dream.
theory that I've seen put out there is that whole part where they're singing about swimming in the ocean and all that, that she
Drowning,
drowns,
yes.
and this is all
Her
her
dream.
vision as she's dying, and the end is they're driving off into heaven because she's dead.
Oh.
That's right. I thought it was a race, but it was the drowning. I
Now,
knew
this is
somebody
not a
died.
fact. This is
No.
not like the movie makers came out and said later.
No.
This is just like a fan theory.
I think what they did is they had the car fly away because up until that point, the greatest ask for the suspension of disbelief was that they were all in high school. But then when the car flies away, you get distracted and forget that they're all 30.
I got to admit, though, like I haven't seen this movie in full. Like I watched it when I was a kid. My wife and her cousins, they all love it, and they've watched it a million times. But the one time I watched it all the way through, the car flew away, and I thought, what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
It doesn't make
Why
any
does the
sense.
car fly?
But it is I think it's so sad. We keep losing, and I know they do the in memoriam with the Oscars and all these different award shows, but it is really sad. You keep losing generations that instead of being able to interview them about their time in that movie or, playing sports at that time, it's all like, okay, well, we read about it now. I don't know.
So I've just read about Greece, and it says this story from Screen Rant, which writes about
movies.
Yeah. It says, in addition, the shop teacher aiding the T-Birds sets up the twist, saying, quote, if it were in any better condition, it would fly. So I guess the shop teacher says that at some point in the movie.
That's kind of a throwback.
And then still, while the flying car is a departure for Greece, it serves as a symbol that Danny and Sandy are quite literally flying into the sunset for their happy ending.
Yeah.
So
I
much
like
for your
I like the dead theory better.
The dead theory is it's morbid. She drowned in the ocean.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
yeah.
So yeah,
Amy's like, I'm searching for a transition, and there isn't one.
Do we have? We have.
I
one
do. We have
final-
audio.
all
So
right.
do you want to set it up?
Yes. So we also lost a great historian and author, television host, narrator, David McCullough. I know there are some people who know exactly what David McCullough meant to our country's understanding of history. He won 2 Pulitzer Prizes for his presidential biographies of Harry Truman and John Adams. The books are Truman and John Adams. Truman came out in 1992, and I read it when I was really young, and it is a tome. It is several inches thick. It's huge book, but it was just an incredible story of the life of Truman, told in such a way where you have a ton of information, but it's also digestible. And so that really changed my understanding of Harry Truman. Loved that book. And of course have John Adams as well. But McCullough was asked about the research that he does. And, if he ever feels like he's researching a topic or a person that has, been studied and written about so much that there's nothing new to discover.
And you think, oh, that's been gone over again and again. You're not going to find anything. Oh, yes, you do. And you find
But
it
you have to know how to,
surprising
you have to know how to
places.
dig or look.
Well,
right?
you also have to keep an open mind because often you find it in a person, somebody who has something to say. When I was working on my Truman book, I interviewed one of his Secret Service guards.
Mhm.
And at the end of the interview, I thanked him very much because he really gave me a lot of time and it was infinitely interesting and valuable. And I thanked him. I said, particularly when I think how many times you must have been asked these questions. He said, Mr. McCullough, I've never been asked these questions. You have to be sure you don't let appearances lead you to wrong conclusions about people and about where things are. I've felt for a very long time that history is more than politics and the military and social issues. Yes, it is politics and the military and social issues, but it's also art and music and architecture and ideas and science and medicine. It's the works. It's human.
I love that. Just outstanding. That sums up, I think, for me, why he was such an incredible storyteller. And for people who may not have read his books, you will recognize his voice on Ken Burns' The Civil War. He was the narrator for that incredible documentary.
I'm going to out myself because yesterday when you brought this up, I'm like, who's David McCullough? Yeah. Because, look, and we asked other people in the newsroom too. So, yes, I'm a dope, but there are a lot of smart people here, and a lot of people didn't. But then when you hear the voice, because I watched the Civil War documentary, when you hear the voice, you know it immediately.
Yeah.
You don't, it's one of those things where you're like, I couldn't place it. I couldn't have put a name on it, but I know it. Like you hear the voice, you know that voice, and you know that it's set. At least to me in that Civil War documentary, it kind of puts you in it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. I will say this as I went down the rabbit hole of watching more and more of the Civil War documentary last night. Oh my gosh, how devastating is that? Just the entire work by Ken Burns. It's so sad. It's just, I think it's overwhelmingly sad. And with the Civil War, all war is sad and tragic and devastating. But that moment of time in our history, brother fighting brother, and just the conditions. These are bayonets, right? You're going man-to-man combat, and your brothers and your neighbors, and it was just brutal.
And it's hyperbolic to say it now, but man, it just feels there's such a feeling now that we're headed towards something similar to that. Like, I don't think that we're going to have an outright war between the North and the South. That's not going to happen, but I can sure see a lot more violence happening over the next several months and years because of how politically apart we are right now, more than we have been in my entire lifetime.
But I don't think you're going to see, like you said, armies. You're not going to see sides. What you might see is like little, like almost like domestic terrorism acts.
Yep.
Let's hope not. But
especially after what happened yesterday, there are a lot of people already crazily angry.
And yes, yelling for violence, like legit violence. All right, coming up next, we're going to tell you about what's called a pink tax. I'm sure many of you have heard of it. Bottom of the hour, Glenn Brummer's going to join us talking about the 82 Cardinals here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Is your retirement withdrawal strategy built for a looming recession? Do you know which accounts you should draw from first? What are common pitfalls? How can you minimize your tax bite? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our timely virtual event, Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy. You can register for free at planefe.com. We'll look at financial pitfalls to avoid and how to help make sure your financial plan is built to last. Whether it's sequence of withdrawals, when to start taking Social Security, or staying diversified, we'll help you understand the steps you can take to make sure your financial plan can work for you. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
Do you love your house and hate the thought of assisted living? Whether you're caring for a loved one in your home right now or planning to live independently in the years ahead, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They can completely remodel your old bathroom in just 3 days and back up their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on both their quality and craftsmanship. If all you need is a new walk-in tub or easy entry shower to make your life easier, they could do just that for you. Avoid the hassle and stress of remodeling. Check them out on the web at 3daykitchen.com or call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath for your free design consultation today. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. It's about time.
It's about time.
3 days or less.
At 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
We're on a mission from God.
I want my MTV! I want my MTV!
Fall in? Where the hell have you been, soldier? Training, sir! What kind of training, son? Army training, sir!
What's wrong, sweetie? I don't know. Sometimes I just feel different.
That's because you're growing up. I think it's time we have that talk. The pen talk.
But I can't handle those man pens.
That's why you need the new Bic for Her pen.
There's a pen for women?
There is now. They're built strong enough for a man, but simple enough that even a woman can understand how to use them.
You're back in on the show. Amy can't even speak.
Sorry.
Raj and I are giggling.
That was.
But it does make the point of the story that you're about to tell, like
Yes.
the topic we're about to dive into.
Okay, we were talking about the pink tax. And if you were wondering if that voice sounded familiar, yes, that was Ellen DeGeneres. So she was asked by Bic, the pen company, to do a commercial for their Bic Lady Pens. And
Lady pens.
I love the idea that you women are so fragile that you can't handle a regular pen.
Now you can't.
That
No,
you
no,
have
no.
to have your
It's not a regular pen. It's a man pen.
the man pen. You can't handle a man pen.
strong enough for a man, but simple enough that even a woman can figure out how to use it. And she goes on. She said no to Bic, but then made a parody commercial. And she tells her daughter too. She goes, "You can use it to write your opinions on a piece of paper and then crumple it up and throw it away because nobody cares what your opinion is anyway."
I care about your opinion.
Oh, thanks. Remember when Wheeler said I could make a comment about the Cardinals? That was fun.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Amy, if you have something to say about this, feel free.
So what the pink tax?
Oh, is that a joke? Hadn't heard that one before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
So,
I
of
was
course-
trying to encourage you to join the baseball conversation, but it sounded like mansplaining. So
It did.
I'm bad. I'm bad.
Let's see what the lady has to say.
Man bad. Man bad. Lady that doesn't know anything about baseball.
Yeah, all right. Let's ask the skirt. What does she have? Oh, gosh.
So
Poor
anyway,
Amy.
we're talking about the pink tax. If you're wondering what the pink tax is, it's an upcharge placed on products and services that are traditionally marketed to women. For instance, there is a toiletry kit, a generic toiletry kit from a company, and it comes in blue. But if you buy it in pink, it's $2 higher than the blue kit.
And it's all the same
And it's
stuff.
the exact same thing. When you look at deodorant, right? A 2.7 ounce stick of deodorant under the Suave Men label goes for $2 or 49 cents. And 49 cents. That's 92 cents an ounce. But the counterpart for women actually contains less product but costs more. So it's $1.15 an ounce for the women's product, and the only difference is the so-called womanly powder fresh
That's
scent.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they get away with it, like the company, and I'm not going to out them. You already know who they are. Strong enough for a man, pH balanced for a woman. It makes it sound like it's so scientifically technical that they've specially formulated this for you, and therefore, because of all that extra research they had to do and preparation, it costs more. But it's totally ridiculous.
It's totally, and the reason why this came up today or this week, a friend of mine wanted to buy this specialty coffee pot, like a French press, and it came in all these different colors, like the Italian flag, or just plain black or gray. But the pink one was $15 more than all of the other colors.
So it's obviously a bad thing here, right? And I think I saw the note that it's the study showed that it's like an average of 7% more, like it's a 7% upcharge on women's products compared to men's. According to this, in the UK, women and girls are charged on average 37% more.
Wow.
For toys, cosmetics, and clothes.
That's outrageous.
It's crazy.
Because it does not cost more. And in some cases, like Amy said, probably cost less.
Well, if you're putting less in
But
there.
if you're putting less in yes. that's completely ridiculous.
And it's also, so it's the pink tax on things that, okay, maybe you want to smell like a mountain man, maybe you don't. So you can have deodorants with different fragrances, but the whole idea of pen for ladies, what does
So
that
funny.
even mean? Or a toothpaste
Well,
for ladies?
It's a very similar idea to razors, because they market razors specifically for women. They're not any different. They're not different. They do the same thing. Like
it's sharp
I have,
metal.
back in the time when I was shaving, which I don't really. I use a beard trimmer. But back when I was shaving regularly, I would get caught in situations where I'm, at my parents' house and I forgot a razor, or I'm staying with a girlfriend or whatever and don't have a razor. And they're just like, use one of mine. I have a disposable.
Venus.
But and it's pink.
A what?
But it does the exact same thing.
Venus.
Oh.
It does the exact same thing. And it works. It works just as well.
more
Not
expensive.
better. But they do cost more. It's just so dumb.
We are dumb. Humans are dumb.
Oh my gosh.
And we put up with dumb things all the time. But yeah, these are amongst the many that could easily be fixed, by the way. This is not like a complicated problem to correct. All right, coming up after the news, Glenn Brummer's going to join us. We'll talk about the 82 Cardinals World Series.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
You want some real weird stuff?
Yes.
I'm in one of those moods.
Have it.
What's the difference between real life and dreams? How do we really know that this is real life? Because every morning or whatever in the night when I wake up from a dream, I'm surprised to be in this world. Dream life or real life, whatever, like, oh my God, I was in the radio business and I was bald, and then you wake up, you're like, oh, that's right, crap.
It's a dream come true. The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
What is the storms and the devastation the rain has caused with the flooding? I mentioned Stray Paws before. They're a rescue place to find dogs, and they try to find them forever homes. And they lost 10 puppies. They couldn't get to them in time because the water came up so quick. And the building, I was just out there, but everybody's down there and they're all volunteer, and they're trying to put the building back together as quickly as possible so they can help the stray dogs. So if they ever needed anybody's help, it would be now. If you would like, or if you find it in your heart, if you have an extra dollar or two, if you could, go to my website. It's bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Go to on the front page where you see like those three little bars up in the top right hand corner. Click on that, and Stray Paws should come up, and just click on that, and you'll have all their information, their email, and you can contact them directly. It would be greatly appreciated. And God bless.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance benefits too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
At 11:30, it's cloudy and 76 degrees downtown at the Arch. The FBI executed a search warrant yesterday at former President Trump's Florida estate. Larry Sabato is a political analyst and professor at the University of Virginia, says the FBI had to be looking for something because this had to get approval from the Justice Department.
We really don't know what the FBI was looking for, and they must have had a very good reason to do this because it's unprecedented. And they had to get a judge to approve, as well as senior officials in the Justice Department and possibly elsewhere.
Renters and homeowners in St. Louis County, the city of St. Louis, and St. Charles County who affected by flash flooding last month may now apply for FEMA disaster assistance. President Biden has signed a $280 million bipartisan bill to boost domestic high-tech manufacturing. The aim is to ease U.S. reliance on overseas supply chains for critical cutting-edge goods. We've got a stall on 70 West at 9th. Watch out there. 270 South at I-70 on the right shoulder and 70 East past Tucker also on the right shoulder. And Dean DeVore's forecast is sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Cloudy and sticky with a shower thunderstorm around for the city and near suburbs. Areas south and southwest of the St. Louis Metro will see periods of rain and thunder. Repeated downpours could cause some flash flooding. High today about 80, overnight low 70. Tomorrow warm but not that humid with a high of 84. Right now it's cloudy and 76 downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
I'm sure that you've felt the shift in the real estate market and have wondered how it will affect you. Is it time to buy or is it time to sell? What are your options? Hi, I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Give us a call and we can discuss a strategy that works for your individual needs in this ever-changing market. Quality and experience at a more affordable rate. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-4444.
Free Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
If the epic rains affected your home or business, Reinhold Electric wants to come out and help you out. If you've had water in your basement or water got to your panel, call Reinhold Electric as soon as you can. They'll come out, they'll look at it, they'll follow local jurisdictions to get everything restored safely. They've been actively working with restoration companies, and even if you're not working with a restoration company, you can call them directly as a customer. It is time to call Reinhold Electric. They are waiting for your call. They've been powering up, drying equipment, getting businesses back up and running, and they've been doing it as quickly as possible. This is not their first rodeo. They know exactly what to do in emergencies like we had with the rains in July. So call Reinhold Electric. 24-hour emergency services always had by Reinhold Electric. You can find them online at reinholdelectric.com. That's REIN. HOLDelectric.com or 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. A live person answers that phone call 24 hours a day. Call Reinhold Electric and tell them Bo sent you.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
Shots rang out as President Reagan was leaving the hotel and about to enter his limousine.
Charles Philip Arthur George, wilt thou have this woman to thy wedded wife?
I will. Let's roll. Let's be careful out
there. Brummer's the big runner. He's the third. 2 down. Sacks jammed. Lavelle at the belt. Checks. Brummer's stealing home. He is safe, and the Cardinals win. Brummer stole home. The dugout comes out and they congratulate him. You wouldn't believe it. Glenn Brummer steals home, and now the Giants are out arguing about the call. The umpire never called the two-strike pitch, and it was right down the middle.
Back in on the show here on KMOX. This weekend, the Cardinals are celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 1982 season. Of course, that resulted in a World Series victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. That highlight, Mike Shannon with a great call. Glenn Brummer, the author of the highlight, is kind enough to join us here on KMOX today. Glenn, thanks for jumping on, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Oh, we appreciate you jumping in here.
Yeah.
When you hear that highlight, and I'm sure it never gets old for you to hear it, what are you feeling when you hear something like that?
It brings chills to me.
When you look back now, I mean, obviously that's a moment. I mean, what a great call by Mike Shannon. That's something that stands out in people's memories and all of that. But there was a lot that went into it. We talked to your teammate Ken Oberkfell yesterday about kind of the feel of the 82 team and when it started to build toward thinking there was something really cool going on. And obviously it ended as well as it could possibly end. What was the ride like for you?
The ride, like, bring you to where I was in third base and take off, I guess.
Yesterday we had a listener. We were talking about that team, your 82 team, and a listener yesterday said that your steal of home late August of 1982, August 22nd, actually, that was the moment they knew that this team was probably going to win the World Series. Was there a moment for you during the course of the regular season where you knew that you were really onto something special?
Most definite. It was just one game but it kind of just moved us forward and say, hey, this could happen.
You guys had one of the most exciting teams, and it's why, one of the reasons why everybody today still talks about Whitey Ball, the style of play. I know that doesn't necessarily, wasn't stealing bases and stealing home wasn't necessarily your game, but it was the Cardinals game, and it was what you guys were all about, was kind of being aggressive and taking control.
Most definite. I mean, Whitey put that in play, and especially every spring training. Let's go. No, don't be afraid to take chances.
Okay.
Put it this way, we wasn't base to base.
No. You were definitely not doing the whole station to station stringing together 5 singles. That definitely didn't have to happen. But what an exciting time during active all of baseball. You won't see those kind of teams, not for a while anyway.
Well, speaking of taking chances, going back to when you did steal home, did you have permission or the go-ahead from the third base coach, or did you just make that decision on your own to go ahead and steal home?
Well, I was just fortunate enough to get there. I got there at third base. I actually got into the game, I don't know, about the 7th inning. Whitey pinch hit for somebody and did a couple moves, and I was in the game. I think he pinched run for Steve Braun. Anyway, I ended up in the game, and I had been in the game for, I don't know, maybe it was a month, 30, 40 days, and I was fortunate enough to get a base hit. And then, ended up with bases loaded with when I got to first base, I noticed that Gary Lavelle had a high leg kick, and it was a left-hander, and I said, this guy's slow. And so I said, hey, we got to get this game over, and I was just looking for a way to score.
And so you just kind of decided in the moment you were going to do that?
Yeah, I mean, when I hit first base, I said, we got to have this game. I checked the outfield. I was looking for a double on first base. I was looking for a double. There's one out. I was looking for a double to score on a double, or anyway get to home plate. So I think Willie walked or had an infield hit. Someone struck out, and Ozzie had a bases or a walk. Anyway, I ended up on third base with 2 outs. And then thing is about this, both teams were out of players.
Oh,
because the night before, we had won in 12 innings. It was midnight Saturday night, or actually Sunday morning. We won a ball game on Lonnie Smith hit an inside park home run.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We got it back. So what I find fascinating about that play, Glenn, and Glenn Brummer's with us here on KMOX talking a bit about 82. What I find about that play in general is there's just so much to account for. You mentioned you had a lefty. He can't see you very well when you're on third base. He's slow. He's got a high leg kick, long arm action, whatever. But, man, there's that leap of faith, hoping that guy at the plate sees and doesn't swing.
Yes. That was David Green.
Yep.
David Green was at the plate, and see, the infield was back too. David Green, a pull hitter. Darrell Evans he was almost in left field. So as I noticed the first pitch, Lavelle was pitching out of the stretch, and Darrell Evans didn't want. Basically, he was going to try to knock the ball down and get a force out, and move on to another inning. And so as I noticed that the very first pitch, Lavelle was slow and didn't look at me. So I decided, well, let's let David Green try the chance to drive in the winning run, and so be it. So as the count ran on, I wouldn't relinquish my lead. I would take my lead and wouldn't go back to the bag. So I built up about, I don't know, I'm 30 feet off the bag. I'm getting to a point that I'm not going back. I don't have to go anywhere. So the count is 2-1. And I turn around and ask Chuck Hiller. You remember you was asking, did I get permission? I asked for permission. I talked to Chuck Hiller, Waddy's third base coach at that time. I said, Chuck, it's obvious you see what I see. He said, I can go. And he said, you better not. But he said, the next pitch, it was strike two. So the count is 2-2. And now I got about a 35-foot lead. And I said, I'm going.
Oh, man.
I am going. Funny thing about this, my wife, Shelley, was on the third base side with her brother and wife. And when I hit third base, I noticed my wife on the in the stands there, and I said hi to her, and she said, "Will you do something?" My brother has a flight out of St. Louis, and he's flying to Indianapolis. The flight is at 5 o'clock. And I said, go ahead and do something. I said, okay.
Yes, dear.
Yeah, this is a true story. She looked at me and said, do something.
So
they got a lead.
She called it.
Yeah, you had a choice. Listen to the third base coach or listen to your wife. And you picked your wife.
Yeah, so I told third base coach, Chuck Hiller said, hey, I'm gone. I don't really care what I'm going. So yeah.
That was the right choice.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, yeah. He came to the stretch. It's 2-2, and I said, "Well, let's go."
Yeah. So what was
I had about 55 feet to go,
yeah.
And head first slide.
So
David Green stepped out of the box. I guess somebody said he heard me coming.
Oh, good.
Oh, great. Yeah.
That's like a bull out of a china shop. Here we go.
What was going to be your plan if you had gotten thrown out? Were you just going to say, my wife told me to go?
That's very good, yes. Well, pack my bags, and at that time it'd be Louisville.
Well, you don't share a bed with a third base.
Yeah, it's either you're
coach,
packing
so.
your bags to Louisville or packing your bags out of the house. So
Yes, and whatever. I mean, everything was hitting the fan at once right then. But you know, the funny thing is that it was a hot day. I mean, it was hot. It's of course a hot Sunday afternoon in St. Louis, and you know it's like an oven on that turf. But the Budweiser was still flowing, and the fans were still there. I mean, it was a packed house. I think it was full, 47,000 people in the house, in the stadium, and no one went home.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
So
what.
I took off.
That is a hell of a story. I mean, in and of itself, like by itself, the Brummer Stills home highlight is like classic. Everybody knows it. Everybody remembers it. It's so much fun. But now hearing the story, it's even better.
Yeah, it was a crazy play. To whoever thought 2 outs, 2 strikes, 12th inning, bomb the 12th, take off. Here we go.
Caught him off guard for sure.
great choice. Great choice, by the way.
Yes, yeah, Frank Robinson thought it was strike 3 right down the middle.
Oh, they didn't call.
Yeah.
That's another thing. There was an argument of
Right.
balls.
Yep.
Where was the pitch?
Oh man, that's so great. That I'm
I mean,
so
yeah.
glad we got to hear the story of what influenced you to go and all that, because that is absolutely brilliant. And I know we're looking forward to hearing more stories about the 82 team as we get into the weekend and everything is celebrated at Busch Stadium. And Glenn, you're the best. We really appreciate your retelling of the story. Thanks so much for jumping on with us. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
You got it. That's Glenn Brummer. And I didn't point this out at the beginning. I meant to. Effingham High grad.
Yep.
Got to play
Yeah.
for the Cardinals just an hour and a half down the road.
Yeah, a couple hours,
Yeah,
couple
2
hours
maybe
east,
west.
2.5
I'm sorry,
hours.
east. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hit that on my road. That's my stop every time I'm going to Indianapolis.
On 70.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, that's my stop.
Guys,
But great to have that story. And honest to God,
I love that.
that is the most brilliant telling
great.
of that. I did not.
About his wife?
Yes.
Yeah, because
If
I
he
mean,
has
it's
told
like,
that story. I'd never heard it.
hey, you know, like I gotta go. She told me I have to. I can't not. I'll have to be finding a new place to live.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking the whole time when he was telling that part? I was thinking, you guys, you know this, Ron, Jamie, you probably don't, but the internet video, the Leroy Jenkins.
Oh yes.
All I could think was,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do know that. I know,
Jenkins!
I know it because you made me watch it.
It's the best.
Like, damn it, Leroy.
That's all I can
Oh, it
think
worked.
about.
It worked. Never mind. By the way, he was correct. The paid attendance for that day. Want to take a guess?
Well, whatever he said.
46,827
Wow.
Damn, he nailed
for a
it.
hot day,
That's
August
beautiful.
day in St. Louis.
And obviously, we know how that story ended. We also know that everything ended with a World Series victory, which is what will be celebrated at Busch Stadium this weekend. More on the show coming your way, just a few here on KMOX.
Hello, this is Dave Walker, former Comptroller General of the United States. The federal government has grown dramatically, promised too much, lost control of its budget, and must restructure its finances in order to create a better future.
I agree, Dave. This is Ken Heisey from Heisey Advisory Group, and you're invited to a special event on Thursday, August 25th. Dave and I will talk about our country's financial issues and how they may impact your retirement. Learn why it's critical to take action now and discover strategies that can help protect your future. If you've saved at least $750,000 for retirement, call 314-328-4400 to register for this special event. After a decades-long mission to promote fiscal responsibility at all levels of government, you won't want to miss what Dave has to say. Call 314-328-4400.
Dave Walker is not affiliated with and does not endorse Heisey Advisory Group or AE Wealth Management, LLC. Heisey Advisory Group may not provide tax advice and is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
So a lot of people get stuck in like this frozen pizza box, right? You're at the grocery store, you're going down the frozen pizza aisle, you're going to stash something, which is what I like to do, right? I like to have a pizza or two hanging out in the freezer. That way, if I'm watching football on a Saturday or Sunday, or I'm watching baseball on the weekend, I can just pop one of those in there and I'm a happy camper. A lot of people fall into habits. I want you to break your habits. I want you to look up and go see Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. First of all, it's a lot of fun to say Lots of Matzo Pizza, but you go through the frozen pizza aisle, and the thing you're going to notice right out of the gate is that you can see everything. This is not in a box. It's not covered with a sticker. You can see the ingredients. You can see the high-quality, award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese on every pizza. Half-pound pizza, by the way, on every single one of those pies. It's the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. And a lot of choices, too. Traditional, like your pepperoni and your sausages. Those are both great. The taco pizza is fantastic. My favorite so far is the Hawaiian. The breakfast pizza is great. I still haven't gotten to the bacon cheeseburger, but that's going to be happening here in the not-too-distant future. That's the one I got in the freezer right now that's sitting there for that important day. So get yourself out of your old habits. Stop looking at the old ones. Go to the one you can see through that clear plastic wrapping. It's Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, and it's at your local grocery store.
The Biz Dash is St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. St. Louis City SC's all-new Centene Stadium is the site of this year's Biz Dash, and participants will get a chance to see it up close. With music, food, drinks, and more, the Biz Dash is the ultimate office party. Thursday, September 22nd at Centene Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
When you need a plumber now. Beast Plumbing is your plumber, whether it's commercial or residential. They do it all, whether it's stopped up toilet services, sewer repairs, sewer lateral camera inspections, sewer and drain cleaning services, faucet repair services, water pressure services, leak detection. You don't like the flavor of your water? Definitely call Beast Plumbing for water treatment systems. They have water softeners, water filters, reverse osmosis systems, and they've got a special for the month of August. $75 off a toilet install. How about that for a deal? So if you need a new toilet, well, call Beast Plumbing for $75 off toilet install in the month of August. They have hired a couple of people for their office. They're still looking for 1 to 2. So if you are experienced in office bookkeeping, call Beast Plumbing or get a hold of them through their website. And they're also and always looking for a couple of experienced plumbers in the field. Put this contact in your phone because you'll never know when you need a plumber. 314-698-1154, online at beastplumbing.com. That's BEIS plumbing.com. Tell them Bo sent you.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in your neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's premier James Hardy and Pella window expert. Add curb appeal and value to your home by calling Banner Construction 314-569-1050.
Mission St. Louis helps people work their way out of poverty through education and workforce development. Make a difference today through a tax credit eligible donation at missionstl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy, Chris, and Kevin.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Now, more of the show.
All right, 11:54 on the show. Chris Ranji, AB Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Still celebrating 80s week as we heard I think a great story there from Glenn Brummer about the steal of home that became famous and obviously still has some great story behind it to this day. We'll be talking more about the 80s. We got our draft coming up, Ranj. When are we doing that again? We're doing that 1:30?
1:30
is when we're doing the draft.
1:30. We're going to draft the best 80s TV theme songs. So
I love it.
I came in second in our draft yesterday.
And you drafted second. Notice we went in the order that we drafted.
That's right.
So we'll see if I can reverse that today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Amy won. Amy won.
You got Michael Jordan with the first pick.
She did. I am your father.
Yep.
It's a pretty good movie quote.
You got to be a good GM though to make sure you take the right pick at the top of the draft.
Yeah, I mean you can't
Well done, Amy.
blow it with was it Sam Bowie? Was that who it was?
Yeah, that's what I drafted.
Drafted in front of
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
I took the 7-footer with bad knees.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, you really did.
Yep.
So congratulations to Amy, and you can vote on our poll, which will be coming up in the 1 o'clock hour at the show KMOX on Twitter. Go find it.
Nice.
That sounds good.
And
Hey,
follow it.
Okay, so I was listening to Total Information AM this morning, as I always do. I listen on the Odyssey app. Kevin, I know you listen on the old school radio.
I'm in the car, old school.
98.7 FM is awesome, crystal clear. If you're on 1120 AM, don't even bother. Go to the FM 98.7.
I got the
Okay.
Odyssey app too.
So
I listen in the bathroom,
that's where I listen.
in the shower.
I was going to say, really?
I'm
You're
in the
there that
shower.
long, huh?
I am. I'm listening to Tom and Carol and Debbie and everybody. I'm in
Honest
the
to goodness,
shower.
With my phone, it's probably not good that I sleep next to my phone, but I do. It's on the nightstand, right? And so I wake up. And
Where else would it be?
Well, like you can leave it in another room. You're supposed
Who
to
does
sleep
that?
better. I don't know. People
Okay.
who can. At any rate, I'll turn on the Odyssey app even before I'm out of bed. So I start with Total Information AM. And what I heard was an advertisement for the Good Samaritan laws in Missouri. And I had just talked about this with Kevin, learning how to administer Narcan. Do either of you know how to administer Narcan if someone
No.
overdoses?
Nope.
Okay. So one of my friends works with the homeless population and deals a lot of times with addictions within the homeless population. And so he knows how to administer Narcan. He's had to do it before. And I thought, man, with all of these overdoses that are happening, that's not a bad skill to have. Like you learn how to do CPR, you learn how to operate a defibrillator. Maybe we should start learning how to administer Narcan. And I understand that. What are you going to do? Like walk up to someone who's passed out on the street, try to wake them up. And if you can't wake them up, administer it. I understand that the chances of this happening, or even the wisdom of approaching someone on the street, may be small, but I think it's something I want to learn how to do. And the Good Samaritan laws protect you if you are trying to help someone with an overdose.
Right. So you don't have to worry about like if you make a mistake trying to do the right thing, you're
And
not
you're
going to be
not
held
gonna,
liable.
kill them by
Right.
giving
Where are we
Narcan.
getting the Narcan?
That's a great question. We can pick
So
that up
hard.
coming up after the news
Yeah.
on KMOX.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey with a question facing homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. And that's why you need to call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has a program that eliminates the worry of selling your current home and having to find your next home with inventory being so low. Gloria is expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Let Gloria know exactly what you're looking for, and she'll find your dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. Once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale but hasn't put it on the market yet, Gloria will inspect that home, set up a private no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria Lou will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more by calling Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Shopping around for new HVAC systems is something nobody ever wants on their to-do list. So let's help make things easier with free estimates on new equipment, up to $2,150 on Carrier Cool Cash rebates, and 0% financing for up to 72 months. With over 50 years of award-winning service, you can trust Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling with your new system install. For details and to get in your comfort zone, contact Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The the Fed rattled the market again this week as interest rates continue at the cost of goods and services.
The cost of goods and services. What does that even mean? And do you really pay attention but your next trip to the grocery store?
Yo, lady, you seen the price of grapes lately?
Tell me about it.
Costs go up and the power of your monthly income goes down. That's inflation. Steve All at the All Financial Group can help you build guaranteed income in retirement to keep pace with inflation. Call 636-230-8824 today for a complimentary portfolio review. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
I'm skipping the grapes this week.
Me too.
The price of grapes might surprise you. Don't be surprised in retirement. Call 636-230-8824 today. Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, it's cloudy and 77 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Former President Donald Trump is the focus of an investigation into how he handled classified material. That investigation led to FBI agents searching his Florida home, searching for evidence. Skylar Henry has more from Washington, D.C.
FBI agents seized boxes of documents while executing a search warrant at former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home Monday.
This means that a judicial officer found there was probable cause to believe there was evidence of a crime at Mar-a-Lago.
CBS News has learned the search warrant is connected to missing White House records. Earlier this year, the National Archives asked the Justice Department to investigate Trump's handling of official documents.
Former President Trump will be dining with some House Republican members at his Bedminster golf course this evening. Eastern Kentucky flood victims continue the damage cleanup and assessment.
The Salvation Army has served 10,000 warm meals to Eastern Kentucky flood victims. The organization has also been handing out hygiene kits and cleaning supplies. Salvation Army Major Katie Chase.
It's always a blessing to be able to come and serve our fellow neighbors and be the hands and feet of Jesus to them.
At least 37 people died in the flood nearly 2 weeks ago. 2 women remain missing, a 60-year-old and a 29-year-old. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Legal Missouri 2022 campaign says the Secretary of State's office has certified its petition, meaning recreational marijuana will appear on the ballot this November. The campaign says officials certified 214,535 signatures across the state's 8 congressional districts, which exceeded the required minimum of 184,720 to make the fall ballot. The man who has led the St. Louis Public Schools since 2008 has announced his retirement. Superintendent Kelvin Adams says he'll leave the district at the end of the year and will do everything in his power to support efforts to find a new leader. Tennis great Serena Williams seems to be saying the R word in a Vogue article.
In the report, Serena Williams says she has never liked the word retirement and says maybe the best word to describe what she is up to is evolution, as in away from tennis. She just won her first tennis match in more than a year in Toronto and says she's getting closer to the light at the end of the tunnel. Freedom. Williams says she's turning 41 this month and something has to give. The woman, known to many fans as the greatest of all time, says she wants to grow her family, but she'll try to win the U.S. Open. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
There's an outcry for an investigation in New Orleans after a 911 recording paints a picture of a police officer who appears to be ignoring a rape in progress.
She is being raped.
This 911 caller was outraged after she witnessed what appeared to be a sexual assault and told a police officer barely a block away.
He is raping her on the street corner right up here to the left.
In the audio obtained by the website The Lens, you can hear the woman telling the police officer what was happening. She tells the dispatcher, though, the cop refuses to do anything about it.
Yo, there is a cop a block away.
Police arrived about 5 minutes later. The rapist was gone. Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
The First Mid Bank and Trust business desk. Italy says no grazie to American pizza.
Domino's Pizza didn't last long in the home of pizza. The last of Domino's 29 branches in Italy have closed. The company started operations there 7 years ago. Domino's faced tough competition from local restaurants expanding their delivery. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 22 points to 32,809. And we've got a stall on 70 or 170 south past Olive on the right shoulder and 70 west to 9th Street. Watch out there. Weather is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Variably cloudy with a shower, thunder showers, city and near suburbs farther south and southwest. More steady, flooding downpour kind of rain and some rumbles. Will be around 80 today, near 70 tonight. Drying out tomorrow with some sun, not all that humid, up to 84. It's a little zappy Thursday. Real feels in the mid-90s, and then a nice weekend unfolds. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Justine DeVore on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Metro Transit is now hiring operators, mechanics, and more. Interested in a rewarding career with great salary and benefits, plus a $2,000 signing bonus? Catch Metro Transit's job fair this Saturday, August 13th at the main garage, 3300 Spruce Street from 10 to 2 p.m. They'll see you Saturday. Right now, it's a cloudy sky, 74 in Florissant and St. Peters, and 77 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444.
All right, 12:05 on the show here on KMOX. 80s music, 80s everything all week long here on the show. Obviously celebrating the 1982 World Series champion Cardinals. Then you'll have all of the festivities going on at the ballpark this weekend with the Milwaukee Brewers in town. We're going to talk some Cardinals baseball in the Redbird Report at the bottom of the hour. So just after the 12:30 news, they're in Colorado for the next 3 days. So you got a little 3-day jaunt to the Rocky Mountains, and then you come back to take on the Brewers this weekend. And, of course, kind of fun. I know this was done on purpose. It's not an accident, but kind of fun that, 82 was Cardinals Brewers. You're doing it during a Cardinals Brewers series. That should be a little bit of fun. But what's going to be more interesting is the outcome on the field, considering that, you've got a tight race. The Cardinals have now pulled ahead in that race for first place in the Central Division. So we'll get into all of that a little bit later on. Now, normally 12 o'clock segment here. This is where we kind of go over some of the big stories from the first 2 hours. Some of that for us is 80s related, and our draft coming up in about an hour and a half of the best theme songs from the most famous TV shows in the 1980s. We'll be talking about that and doing our draft and taking some of your submissions at 314-436-7900. Now, we know the big story, and we talked about it with Stephen Portnoy from CBS News, was the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago yesterday. Was it a rant? Or was it just kind of a complaint earlier that I can't take much more of the immediate, we know what this is reaction to news stories. Like, everybody just splits up to their side of the aisle and they're like, well, we know this is, break out the popcorn, show's starting. And then the other side's like, it's all fake news. And like, why can't we just wait? Why are we not allowed to just wait and see what comes of the investigation? Why is that not permitted?
Well, I think it's difficult to do that for a lot of people when no matter what the evidence is that comes out from it, and maybe nothing substantial comes of it.
Right.
That's very possible. But no matter what it is, it may not change minds, depending on who it is. Because there are people. There are people who've got their camp and they're in their camp and they've already decided that any sort of criticism or investigation or anything of one particular person is a witch hunt, and it can't be anything more than a witch hunt. So once you've already decided that, there is no amount of evidence that's going to change your mind on it. So
no, but we don't have, I think a larger percentage of people, maybe you guys disagree with me on this, but I would argue, that a larger percentage of people will be swayed by what is found, what the evidence shows. If it's nothing, we're going to be swayed by that. If there's something substantial, we're going to be swayed by that. I know that there are percentages of people that are not swayed by anything. I can't bring myself to believe that it's a large percentage of people.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If it's nothing, that's a big deal because you have.
But what if the probable cause is not nothing?
I don't think it matters in terms of perception.
Probably not, but it
perception,
should.
But perception's reality, and that's why when you have the Department of Justice, when you have the FBI raiding a former president's home, you better be darn certain that you're going to find what you convinced a judge was there. They had to convince a high-level judge, right, that a probable crime had been committed. And again, having classified documents at Mar-a-Lago is a crime. It is concerning. Like, as Stephen Portnoy pointed out, a big reason why that's so, we were upset about Hillary's emails because it was classified information on her personal account, which could be hacked. Well, if you have classified documents at a former president's home, and we know that foreign dignitaries and other people are visiting this home, that puts the country at risk. But yes, you would think that before the FBI moved in this manner, that it would be rock solid evidence that they are going to find something. And the Trump parties, as we talked about earlier, has the warrant. They have the warrant, right?
Yeah, they do.
That would be good to show the public. And I know.
Well, I would imagine they would if they truly felt like there was nothing there. I would imagine they would show the warrant and say, "Here's the warrant. It's all nonsense."
Let me just throw.
I would think. I don't know.
Okay, number one, assuming nothing is, assuming there's nothing terrible in there, right? Nothing that would make them look bad right up front. Is it not better to not show it and let everybody go out there and say, this is just this is just persecution. This is team sports.
Well,
being played out.
it would strengthen that argument.
And to that point,
for them,
Trump is already fundraising on this. Let me repeat that.
Sure.
He's already sending out emails about a witch hunt and fundraising on this.
Well, a lot of the language that's coming from people who support him, people of prominence, and I mean, it's in tweets. It's Elise Stefanik. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It's people like that who are saying things. There's very similar language in a lot of the tweets that you're seeing, and it is, if they can do this to him, think about what they can do to you. Well, they can already do that to you.
They could already do it.
We've already known that. We've already known the FBI can come after any of us.
Ask all the people in federal prison.
Yes, for committing a crime. We all know that. That's not news.
And like we said earlier, two things can be true. A former president is not above the law. He can't just commit crimes at will and expect to be excused from that. But also, if you're going to conduct a criminal investigation of a former president, specifically have the FBI raid his residence, you need to have the evidentiary support. And so I think at this time, when we know, and every poll has shown across the board and across party lines, there is a monumental distrust in our democratic institutions. When you have something like this, which we all know is going to be divisive, more transparency you can have to reinstill trust, the better. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican.
Now, this argument is one that's being had, right, by a lot of people about who should declare what. And I saw there was a tweet that said something along the lines of DOJ probably should make some statements about what's going on here. And I saw the tweet from Sarah Isker, who was on the show, when was that, a month and a half ago, something along those lines. And her tweet was, nope. Protocol exists for the times when you think, oh, this should be an exception. Time and time and again, when DOJ has made mistakes, it's because they ignore longstanding internal precedent because they feel justified by the circumstances. So she's saying, don't do it. Don't hold a press conference. Don't say anything now, because you have that precedent in place not to speak about active investigations for a reason. I don't know if that's the correct take. I just find it interesting.
It's very delicate, because I also don't think you want to allow the current environment of people who are willing to stick up for one side or the other to formulate the talking points. And as long as you are silent about it, that allows them to do it. And the more that stuff solidifies, the more it calcifies, those opinions are going to be the truth, no matter what you come out and say. If you wait, if the FBI waits or the Justice Department waits a month before they make a statement on this, that month may be too late, because opinions have already been formulated.
I would actually argue that it doesn't matter at this point, because the people we're talking about aren't changing their minds no matter what you share.
You could be right on that. I don't honestly know the correct way to handle it. I just know that when something like this happens, my default is, okay, there must be some, regardless of who it is. If it was Clinton, if it was with the emails, if it's Trump with this stuff, my default is, ooh, that doesn't sound good. I wonder what happened there. But what we're already finding is people have already determined that this is a witch hunt, and there is nothing more than it being a witch hunt. Well, I would like to wait to see what comes of this before I make that determination.
Right. No, I think we all should.
Because like you said, Amy, all the different steps that have to happen, all the different organizations and government bodies that have to go along with this before it actually happens, somewhere along the way, if this was nonsense, somebody would have said, nah, we shouldn't be doing this. This is a very bad idea.
And I think Will Hurd makes another great point. He's a former member of Congress, former undercover CIA. He said, saying someone weaponized the Justice Department to investigate potential crimes is like someone weaponized the fire department to put out a fire. Like, this is what the Federal Bureau of Investigations does. You're not weaponizing the Department of Justice when you use them to investigate crime. So again, everybody just needs to slow down and wait for more information to come out. And Trump can release Trump could release the warrant if he wanted to, and that would not be breaching any protocol with the Department of Justice because they're not the ones doing it. Trump has the warrant. He could.
Well, he's really the only one who can release the warrant, right?
I think so. Right now, without breaking
legally,
protocol.
I believe it's been sealed. So we got a text related to this, and I think it gets to the point you were making, Ranj, about why there is this belief that it's a witch hunt automatically, no matter what the evidence may show. And I think this is partly related to what this texter in the 618 says when you're going after the sitting president for collusion with Russia, you better be damn certain there's something there, right? Sound familiar? And nothing came of that.
Right.
Nothing came of it. And obviously there are a lot of questions.
Well, we know Russia interfered, but there was no evidence of collusion with Russia.
Which is a huge deal because
there is a
people were
difference.
reporting collusion as fact. And actually, we interviewed, Charlie Brennan and I, last year, interviewed Adam Schiff. And Charlie asked him about it. There was no collusion. That's a big deal. And so, again, we have just sowed seeds of distrust for partisan gain.
But that doesn't mean there shouldn't have been an investigation on it. Right?
Sure,
I mean, the
but
investigation turned up that there wasn't anything there, but that doesn't mean you don't look into it.
Right, but over time, if you're constantly coming up empty, what does it look like?
Well, if you've got probable cause, I mean, this seems to be a little bit different because he did take the materials from the White House. We know that for a fact. We know he gave back some of it. And we know some of it that was given back to them was like taped back together because some of it was destroyed or ripped up or whatever for some reason.
It's why partisan power moves are so frustrating, because when there actually is an issue, people who feel frustrated by the partisan power move feel psychological permission to dismiss the real thing.
Right, because
that's right.
Because it looks like the other thing.
It looks like the other thing.
Absolutely. All right, stick around. We got more 80s week coming your way in a bit. Our Redbird Report after the 12:30 news here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AAMCO.
CertaPro painters have powers beyond those of ordinary painters.
The power of timeliness.
We show up when we say we will, on time and fully caffeinated.
The power of transformation.
Also known as making your house look so good, your neighbors will be jealous.
The power of certainty.
That's your local CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
54 years, Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. Get a dozen award-winning donuts for under $10. Just bring in the coupon from the website on your smartphone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Florissant. Get your dozen and grab a coffee or latte today.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Is your retirement withdrawal strategy built for a looming recession? Do you know which accounts you should draw from first? What are common pitfalls? How can you minimize your tax bite? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our timely virtual event, Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy. You can register for free at planefe.com. We'll look at financial pitfalls to avoid and how to help make sure your financial plan is built to last. Whether it's sequence of withdrawals, when to start taking Social Security, or staying diversified, we'll help you understand the steps you can take to make sure your financial plan can work for you. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
Governor Reagan again, typically, is against such a proposal.
Governor, there you go again.
Where's the beef? Maybe you can hire the A-Team.
All right, we got our Redbird Report coming up after the 12:30 news. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you. I heard it in there. Did you guys hear?
A-Team?
No.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
Oh, I wasn't
remember that,
listening.
Amy?
We were all yelling at each other.
We were not.
No, it just played. Amy.
Why are you making things up?
Were we not fighting?
No. What are you talking about? Now we're fighting.
The only fight that was going on in the studio was you took a bad bite of an apple.
Oh, you've been fighting that tub of apples you're eating over there.
Guys, I bit into this apple slice and it went like there was something in the middle of the apple slice that was not apple texture. Like maybe a dried up worm.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to spit
protein.
that out.
I've done that.
Protein.
There's no worm in that apple.
There was something.
How much apple do you have over there? That's like
had
4 apples cut up.
I had 2 apples and a pear in this container.
Let me tell you something about pears.
Okay.
Disgusting.
What? No. Take
Pears.
it back.
Disgusting.
Pears are delicious.
They have the consistency of like cottage cheese.
Not
They're
the
so
good ones.
gross.
Not the good ones.
Those are bad pears.
Yeah, those are rotten.
What is it from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, a show I like? He says it's like eating sand because it's just grainy.
So I'm not going to lie.
It's true.
Pears are a little grainy.
They're gross.
It's
I don't like
weird.
them.
I love pears, but they are a little grainy.
I can't believe they make those.
Yeah. They grow, Ranch.
What?
They grow.
No, that's made in a lab by somebody who's high. Like pears aren't growing naturally.
What is wrong with
God did not create a pear. There's no chance. Some weirdo in a lab who's on like ecstasy or something is creating these pears because they are so gross.
Okay,
What
InfoWars.
if we had apples and we put sand in it?
That's exactly what it
I
sounds
will
like.
say, science does some really bad things with apples. You ever heard of the grapple?
Oh,
What?
yeah.
It's an
I
apple
thought it
that
was
tastes like a
grapple.
grape. I don't know.
What?
And
Yeah.
a plum cut.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about these
All these
things.
like all
but
all these Dr. Moreau creations.
however, science has perfected the watermelon because the watermelon eating experience now
Mhm.
is 1,000 times better without the seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And we wouldn't have had that without science.
Yeah.
I love watermelon. It's so good. And if you eat it with the stupid little black seeds that are in it,
Yeah.
it just you have to chew and like you're constantly
You know
spitting out seeds. No good.
Grapes have seeds.
Uh,
You can get.
That's true.
I think I took seedless grapes for granted.
Yeah, seeded grapes are bad. Also bad.
My grandma used to buy seeded grapes. I don't know if they're called that.
they're just called grapes.
I think they're just grapes, and she would cut them in half, and then take the seeds out and make salads. And I remember thinking, what a tedious job.
I would also like to say, and I'm declaring this right now, I might run for president. And if I do, my platform
Mhm.
is number one thing probably is this. People who are responsible for pitting the olives,
Mhm.
if you don't do it appropriately and you leave part of the pit in the olive,
Mhm.
you should go to jail.
You'll
Have you ever
never
bitten
become-
into an olive thinking
Yeah.
it's pitted? And an olive pit is not like a watermelon seed where you could chew it if
Right.
you want to. It's hard like a diamond.
Yeah.
And you will crack your teeth.
This sounds like it's coming from personal
not
experience.
Yes, it is
eyeballs?
absolutely. No, you can't,
You can't tell.
You can't tell until you bite into it.
It's pitted, but there's a little bit of a pit left.
Yeah, sometimes they leave like a little chunk and it is hard, man. I'm not kidding you. It is diamond
That's
hard.
why someone says you're the pits.
Oh
I-
my God! You know,
I
what's the
don't know
worst?
if that's
No,
it, but
it is. It's
This
because
conversation is the worst. It is the pits. What are we talking about?
I think it's great.
yeah.
This is a great conversation.
Okay, here's a real conversation, Kevin. So, you ever
Amy went all 80s Valley Girl there. She's like, Kevin.
Kevin?
Like, oh my God.
So salad bars have always been a risky endeavor, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, people are breathing.
Oh, yeah, breathing and
then
s-
putting
yeah,
their
like-
manhandling the
Oh my
lettuce.
And then
God.
when they drop the handle
That's
into
what
the
I was gonna say.
yeah.
So olives at a salad bar, the spoon goes all the way in,
Into the
and
juice.
you know that's
Ugh. Yep.
stuck their entire fist
Yep.
in the juice.
That's right. Many hands have been in the juice. Yep.
I think about that and it
I do
makes me
too.
want to gag.
I do too. And I don't mind going to hot bars, salad bars.
Sure.
I still will do it, but I think about that all the time.
It's
They're
one of the riskier things I do.
Absolutely.
Is I go to the salad bar and I make a salad, and while I'm making the
One
salad,
of the riskier things I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you live in a padded house? Like,
Yeah.
not
It's
gonna
very
get
risky. Amy is on to something there.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, my
Text
God.
her to from a 618
Mhm.
to 314-436-7900 if you want to text. Says the watermelons with seeds taste better. I beg to differ. They do not necessarily taste better.
I don't know. I kind of
There are
might
some
agree.
great tasting watermelons without seeds.
I'm so thankful that we're going to talk baseball in the next segment.
I'm sorry you don't like life.
Yeah.
Dude over there doesn't
sorry
like
you hate
doesn't like
fun.
watermelons or
Everything's-
olives.
Everything's gross.
Oh, let's go talk
Everything's
about exit
scary.
velocity.
Oh yeah, let's talk about hey, what's your
What's
WOBA?
your war?
Aren't you guys scared of salad bars?
Much better conversation.
When you hear
Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
I'm Tom Ackerman, you know you're listening to Total Information AM.
That's where I get my news.
Traffic reports, weather.
Sports.
At 8, it's Total Information AM expanded.
Carol Daniel and Tom Ackerman with you.
More news, information, plus in-depth story analysis.
It gives me more information.
Total Information AM 5 till 8. Total Information AM expanded 8 till 10.
The thing that you need in the morning, when you first wake up.
On 98.7 FM, 1120 AM, and streaming on the Odyssey app.
Have higher mortgage interest rates put you on the sideline of buying a new home? Well, not anymore. TR Hughes Homes and our preferred mortgage lender have teamed up to reduce your mortgage interest rate on all brand new, ready now TR Hughes inventory homes. Example, a 5.5% rate would be slashed to 2.5% the first year, 3.5% the second year, then 4.5% the third year. 3 years of below market interest rates on all TR Hughes completed inventory homes. Supply is limited, so don't wait to take advantage of this unbelievable offer. Certain restrictions apply and must qualify. Visit trhughes.com for details.
Are you tired of paying fees and commissions year after year, even when you lose your money? How would you like to decrease fees and limit your risk? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
What is these storms and the devastation the rain has caused with the flooding? I mentioned Stray Paws before. They're a rescue place to find dogs, and they try to find them forever homes. And they lost 10 puppies. They couldn't get to them in time because the water came up so quick. And the building, I was just out there, but everybody's down there and they're all volunteer and they're trying to put the building back together as quickly as possible so they can help the stray dogs. So if they ever needed anybody's help, it would be now. If you would like, or if you find it in your heart, if you have an extra dollar or two, if you could, go to my website. It's bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Go to on the front page where you see like those 3 little bars up in the top right hand corner. Click on that, and Stray Paws should come up, and just click on that, and you'll have all their information, their email, and you can contact them directly. It would be greatly appreciated, and God bless.
At 12:30, it's cloudy and 77 degrees downtown at the Arch. Former President Trump insists the search of his Florida home by FBI agents was an unnecessary raid. CBS's Jeff Pegues.
There are these allegations that classified information, the government's top secret information, went missing from the White House. And the allegation is that the former president took that information with him when he left the White House.
Last January, the National Archives said some documents from the Trump presidency had not been preserved as required by law. Former Cardinal Jason Hayward will soon be a former Cubby. The right fielder was told yesterday, a day before his 33rd birthday, that he would be released from Chicago at the end of the season. Hayward will still get paid $22 million by the club next year to honor the contract. Stalled vehicle 44 west at 141 on the right shoulder, 170 south past Olive on the right shoulder, and the exit ramp closed 170 south at Scudder. And the forecast is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Cloudy and sticky with a shower thunderstorm around for the city and near suburbs and a high of 80. Overnight, a shower or two possible early with a low 70. Tomorrow, warm, but not that humid with some sun and a high of 84. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Cloudy and 77 downtown at the Arch. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
You know, I've been wearing contacts since I was 12, and last week I saw Dr. Birdie over at the Ophthalmology Associates, and eye care is a big deal. Again, I've been wearing contacts and glasses since I was 12, and I can tell you I've never gone to an eye doctor as thorough as Dr. Birdie and the Ophthalmology Associates. They are known as the doctors' doctors for a reason. They've treated more than 250 doctors, and that's more than any other practice. You can give them a call today at 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000. Dr. Birdie's and Dr. Malhotra are cornea surgeons, and they're experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, like dry eye, allergy eyes, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and of course, LASIK surgery. In fact, I talked to Dr. Birdie for, my goodness, I think about a half an hour about LASIK surgery. I'm thinking about getting LASIK. I have to come to emotional terms with it. And he talked me through the whole process. He even showed me a link to a video that goes through the entire process and took away all of my fears. I'm really looking forward to not wearing contacts one day. Give them a call at 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Find out what's happening with your Redbirds from the manager himself, Oliver Marmol. Sunday mornings at 10:15 on Sports on a Sunday morning, and Wednesday mornings at 9:50. The Ollie Marmol Show.
I'm excited for not only the club but for the fans. This is a special year for sure.
On KMOX.
The pitch by Waino. Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered. Double play. It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. And a home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
All right, we got Cardinals baseball back on KMOX tonight. Pre-game show is going to start at 6:45, 7:40 for the first pitch. A little bit later than usual because they're out in Denver to take on the Rockies. Rockies are 48-63. Cardinals are 60-48. Miles Mikolas starts for the Cardinals, and Ryan Feltner is making the start for the Colorado Rockies. And, of course, the Cardinals now, guys, 2 games ahead of the Brewers, first place in the Central Division. And you're in one of those stretches now where everything's going great, right? Your big guys are hitting. Goldie and Arenado are putting up numbers. You're getting contributions. You know what's been really good? Like, Lars Nootbaar's been really good.
Newt Larsbar? He's been killing it.
Don't say
I'm already confused. It's too
Amy's
late.
already going to say it every time.
You're going to make me say
Newt Larsbar.
It's like the coin toss, saying coin
Coin
toss.
toss.
Oh, yeah.
or like some little kids that I used to babysit would always call it binoculars. It's binoculars, but once you hear binoculars so many times, you can't say it.
One time I
the right
really
way.
messed up blown saves in a very bad way that I can't repeat here. But anyway, so Newt Larsbar.
Yeah,
I mean Lars Nootbaar. Damn it! See,
No, you
I
did
told
that
you.
on purpose.
I did not. No,
You did.
I have been, as I've told you guys, but for the listener who may not have heard the story, I have been at home to myself out loud because I think it's fun saying Newt Larsbar, and I start to get confused over what the real name is. Anyway, Lars has been great. Newt's been great.
And I guess what's been interesting is that the big guys have been the same basically the whole year, right? I mean, Goldschmidt's an MVP candidate. Arenado is Arenado, but you're getting little contributions here and there from other guys. So if we just looked at this as a simple exercise, we know that there is going to be another down period, right? It's going to happen.
Yes.
There's going to be a week where you lose 5 of 7, and everybody's going to be doom and gloom again at that point. You know, all the people that are quiet now are going to be mad. All the people that are excited now are going to be quiet. You know how that goes. It's the ebb and flow. It's going to happen. But what I think is interesting here is that you really haven't had a chance to be whole at all this year. Yachty missed a lot of time. Tyler O'Neill's had a couple of stints on the injured list. Bader, before he was traded, was out. You still don't have Jack Flaherty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have Steven Matz. I mean, they really have not had a lot of things go extremely well when it comes to injuries and health. Yet you're sitting here 2 games in front with about 6 weeks left in the season, and you just added 2 starters, and now you got O'Neill back, and he's starting to kind of come around a little bit. I'm really interested to see kind of what's next and what's possible if you can just kind of keep the group on the field for a bit.
But the thing is, and that is all true, and every team deals with it, not necessarily to the same extent, because some teams do deal with more injuries than others, but pretty much every team is dealing with it to some degree, and not every team has their guys all on the field the way they constructed the roster at the beginning of the year or the way they expected the roster to be at the beginning of the year. The point is, though, it doesn't matter because right now the Cardinals are taking care of business. It does make you wish, though, that this was happening in mid to late September as opposed to early August because into the postseason. But none of that at this point matters because they have put themselves in, they were already in postseason contention before, but now you own the division. And they could conceivably go the remainder of the year and not concede that again. They could still be the first place team all the way through the rest of the year. I don't know what's going to happen in Milwaukee and how that's all going to play out. But what I know is they have to feel pretty lousy about the situation they're in. We talked a lot about post-trade deadline and teammates unhappy about the Josh Hader deal being sent away, and how that must have felt demoralizing in the clubhouse for a team that's in first. Here's our most valuable bullpen piece, and we let him go.
Yeah.
Yes, he was going to be gone anyway, probably after the season ended, but so, I mean, you're in a playoff race now. So that's how the team and the players see it. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to overcome that. But as of right now, the Cardinals are in outstanding position, and they have control of this for the rest of the year.
Isn't it fair to say, though, that this Cardinals team is different when Yadi's there?
Yes.
When Yadi's in the clubhouse?
Yes.
I mean, you want to talk about intangibles, and I know the correlation, causation argument. However, a clubhouse with Yadi, the Cardinals clubhouse with Yadi, is different than it is without him.
I would go beyond it. I think you're right, but I would go beyond it. It's also a practical impact with game planning and confidence in pitchers and what they have to throw. Like so much. I mean, the old Yogi Berra saying, right? Like 90% of the game is mental and the other half is physical. Well, this game is largely mental, and having that full trust in your catcher when you're a pitcher can lead to better performance.
Yeah.
And it's not saying you don't trust someone else, because you won't trust anyone with the level you trust Yadi or Molina.
Right.
With his experience level, with his reputation for preparation and game planning and knowing the opponents. I mean, it's not a knock on a younger catcher if you don't have 20 years of experience to call upon when you're doing these things. And I think that while it's not measurable necessarily, it is something that's real. Like you listen to pitchers talk about it.
There's a comfort factor there at minimum.
You listen to Rick Horton talk about it on the broadcasts here on KMOX, and there's so much about being the pitching coaches like to talk about conviction. You got to throw every pitch with conviction. If you have any doubt in your head, it can lead to poor execution. Well, if you're already not sure what you want to do, but then you see him say, "Here you go, we're going sinker away." You're like, "All right, hey, he's got me covered, man. That guy knows his stuff. I'm just going to do it." And I think that is a practical upgrade too. Not just it is an upgrade in the clubhouse. It is a different feel. I think Arenado even talked about that this week. Mentioned something about it's his clubhouse. It's a different vibe when he's in there, but it's also an on-field impact too.
Yeah, like you said, the practical side of it. And I know we got to focus on this season, and it's exciting potentially. Okay, what are the Cardinals going to do in a postseason? But I always look ahead to my detriment. So how big of a deal is it next year then for the Cardinals, for the clubhouse, for the pitching, the starting rotation even, to not have Yadi? To me, that seems like a huge hole. And again, whether or not it was a little bit more dramatic while Yadi was gone, he was in Puerto Rico, the team was struggling, he comes back, we have this great run. I feel like it's a big hole that we have for next season.
It's a gap they're going to have to fill.
Yeah.
And obvious, I wouldn't say obvious, but it doesn't seem like they're as confident or were as confident in Kisner. I don't know. Maybe he turns into that, but I think the realistic expectation you have to have is you're never going to replace him. So forget about doing that. You're just going to have to try and make that up in the aggregate somewhere else.
It's interesting.
You just can't. You're not going to get a Yadi again.
The interesting thing to follow when we get to that point is going to be how much faith do they have in the young guys in Kisner and Herrera. And Herrera's at AAA, and he's a really good hitter, and he's a guy that has some upside as a defensive player, but he's not that Yadi type of defensive player.
Right.
He doesn't have the same reputation, even at the same age that Molina had when he was coming up. So the question is, do they have faith in one or both of those guys, or do they feel like they need to try to replace some of that by going out into free agency and grabbing a veteran who's been around the block a little bit? Guy like Christian Vasquez, who just got traded from the Red Sox, but he's been a part of their teams that have won. He's got a reputation. That will be an interesting storyline to follow. We just got a texter, by the way, who said, this is 573, who said, our best trade is Hader being traded, demoralizing the Brewers. And I think that's an interesting point. I had this question asked of me, and I want to throw it at you guys, because I think there's a difference, but I think it's an interesting one. So the Brewers traded away a very popular guy. I mean, not only is Josh Hader popular, he's arguably one of the two best closers in the game. Right? I mean, everybody seems to agree with that.
Yeah.
So you traded him away. In exchange, you got another closer who's a veteran, who's been pretty good. He's not Josh Hader good, but let's say he's 90% of Josh Hader, 85%, whatever. he's good. Taylor Rogers is good.
Right.
And you got 2 prospects that you're not going to see right away, maybe next year, maybe down the road. So that's the deal that you made with him, because they got Dinelson Lamet, but they released him, and he's now a Rocky. So you've got essentially a downgrade with a left-handed reliever, but it's not a massive downgrade. You've gone from super elite to pretty good when it comes to a left-handed reliever. The Cardinals moved on from a popular player. Harrison Bader's a very popular guy with the fan base. He certainly had a lot of fans in the clubhouse. He gets traded. There's none of that kind of vibe, and I think part of the reason is, because this is what was asked, is why would one popular guy moving have a different impact? It's because the Cardinals move addressed a really serious need in the rotation.
Right.
And people looked at it and say, okay, yes, he's popular. Yes, he's good. We love Harrison Bader, but he's hurt, and we need starting pitching right now. The Brewers did not need those 2 prospects right now.
He's hurt. They don't know exactly when he's going to be able to play again. And the Cardinals, if anything, they have a bunch of outfielders.
Yes, they do.
It's not like trading away a guy who is established as your best reliever. And you can argue Devin Williams is up there too, because he is good. But Hader is their guy. And you're in a playoff race. To have a bullpen piece like that, then suddenly removed from your roster, that's a pretty big gut punch that you're not expecting if you're a player. That's not the same as losing Bader. And you know, Bader is an everyday player, but the Yankees may not see him as an everyday player. They've got a pretty darn good team. They see him as a terrific defensive player, which we know he is, but not necessarily an everyday guy. That is not the same as giving up your lockdown closer when you've got a lead. That is a massive psychological disadvantage for them.
So what Milwaukee did was clearly, for 2022, clearly made their team worse.
Yes.
It was a downgrade.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. Like I said, Taylor Rogers is a good pitcher, but it's a downgrade for a team that was in first place at the time of the deal.
Yep.
The Cardinals move, at worst, is a neutral in terms of the quality of the 2. But in terms of immediate need and immediate help, it's an upgrade.
Well, and I know it's important to have a good center fielder. That's important. You know, you need your outfield to be strong. But I think fundamentally, those roles are not equal. If you're looking at a good closer, that role versus an outfielder, I just think if one of those guys makes one mistake in any given game, I do feel like the closers could have more of an impact.
A lot less room for error for the
Yes.
for the closer.
Yeah. That's why a lot of guys can't do it.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of really good relievers in baseball that cannot handle the 9th inning because they can't handle the psychology of being the last line of defense.
Not an easy thing to do. All right, stick around. We have still more 80s stuff coming your way. Our poll is coming up. Our draft. I didn't know
we got a draft coming
up. We're also going to be talking to Steve Shankman later on, right after the top of the hour news, about the music scene in St. Louis in the 1980s. So that'll be fun. Got all that coming up here as a part of 80 Week on the show.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Guys, I get your reservations when it comes to some of the, let's just say, the previously existing frozen pizzas that you're going to find at the grocery store, right? Sometimes there's not enough there, like not enough cheese. You look at it, you pull it out of there, and you're like, ugh, it's just all sauce. There's nothing there. You do not want the skimpy pizza, the one that's kind of just nothing there, crappy sauce and not enough toppings. I'm telling you, the Brew Pub Lots of Mozza Pizza lives up to its name. Half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese on every pizza. And they want to show you what is on the pizza. A lot of the ones you get there, they're in a cardboard box or they've got the label that covers the entire pizza. You can't see it because they want you to see the picture on the label and not the pizza itself. They don't do that. The Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza is just in a clear wrapper. You can see everything because they want to show off the quality ingredients. I want you to start off with the Hawaiian pizza, if you can handle the pineapple. If you can't, try out the taco pizza or the bacon cheeseburger. A lot of great choices, old school, new school, different things you can look at, and they're at your grocery store. It is the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. Check out your freezer aisle here when you get to the store.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
The Biz Dash is St. Louis's healthiest happy hour, combining fitness, company, team bonding, and fun. All levels of runners and walkers welcome. Thursday, September 22nd at Centene Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near to dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold BMW. The new all-electric BMWs are here, and it proves that you don't have to be ugly to be electric. Come and drive one of these, and you'll kick your Tesla to the curb. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Improve your gas mileage by properly inflating tires and taking your car in for a tune-up. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Mission St. Louis is celebrating 15 years of empowering individuals to break the cycle of poverty. To learn more on how you can make a difference, go to missionstl.org/KMOX.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Back to the show.
Yeah, the show!
With Amy, Chris, and Kevin on KMOX.
12:52 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. You can join the show, 314-436-7900. Text line is always open, and we are always reading. Always reading. That basically describes Amy, but both at work and away from work, always reading.
Well, you and I are reading comic books.
Yeah.
I'm
Can I
reading-
tell you a story about Friday that I wasn't going to tell you, but now I will?
Whatever you're about to say, I'm going to say, yes, that checks out.
But I'm going to preface it with this.
Uh-huh.
On Thursday night, a work night, no less, I was out till 1:30. Okay. And then I got up at 5.
Doing what?
I was hanging out with friends till
Wow.
1:30.
Okay.
And on Saturday night, as I've noted earlier, I went out to Yellow Belly in the Central West End, and then we made our way to Brennan's.
With
Right?
all this setup, this must be really bad.
Well, here's what happened. On Friday night, I thought, you know what? After work, I'm going to do something fun. Maybe I'll go to the Cardinals-Yankees game, right? That would be fun. Or maybe I'll go to a bar and watch the Yankees game, Cardinals-Yankees game with some friends. Or one of my friends has the backyard. You know how some friends have the backyard set up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Adirondack chairs, bonfire, party lights, the whole shebang.
Tiki torches?
No tiki torches, but party lights, music, speakers. So I thought of all these fun things to do. And I thought, I'm kind of tired, and it kind of got a little bit later. And so what I settled on at 10 p.m. on Friday night is I got in bed and started reading The Grapes of Wrath, because I realized I've always wanted to read The Grapes of Wrath, and I've only read it in sections like that. Sometimes you read excerpts from school, right? So in high school, I've read excerpts, and I realized I have never read The Grapes of Wrath. And so but I have it. And I was also looking at Les Mis, because Les Mis is one of my favorite books. I did not see the play or the movie because I only like the book version that's like 1,400 pages long, and I couldn't find my original copy of Les Mis. So I was scouring my apartment. I finally found the original Les Mis and The Grapes of Wrath, and that's what I did on Friday night. I read The Grapes of Wrath. And why I needed both books by my bed is if I was going to get through The Grapes of Wrath and 1,400 pages of Les Miserables. I don't know. But that's what I did on Friday night.
That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be with your setup.
It isn't?
You don't think reading The Grapes of Wrath on a Friday night?
I do. I think
if you're tired at the end of a long week and you went out Thursday and you're going to go out, that's all right. I'm gonna throw you both under the bus here, because I know the last 2 Fridays I've had to send you guys memes that say, "Hey, it's Friday night," because you're still sending work stories.
Amy does it. Amy did it, and then I just responded.
Oh, no,
I didn't.
Ron,
you know what? Actually, you know what?
Wheeler's right, Ron. You're bad.
I will tell you the truth. A lot of times when those things are happening, I'm out with other people. Like I'm physically out with other people, and I take a moment to stop paying attention to them, and I'm like, oh, I see this story. I'm going to put this on the thing. On the thread.
See, I don't doubt
I do it.
I don't doubt it, because when I read your responses, whether it's a political debate, because yes, we're always talking to / yelling at each other. I think Ranj can't help himself. It is 11:15 on a Saturday night. I know you're out with friends and you cannot help yourself.
And you can tell that I've been imbibing. Yes. Like, oh, this is
that what that is? Is this? Are you drunk prepping us?
I don't get drunk, Kevin.
Prepping?
I you know what I get? I get a little lubed up. That's it.
You're doing buzz, but don't say that. That's not.
Yeah, it is. That's
not what you wanted to say.
Oh yeah, for
buzz prepping.
Yeah.
No.
Buzz
I mean
prepping.
for that's what
don't
lubed
want to
up
say
means.
that either. Buzzed.
I get a little loose.
Happy.
A little lubed up.
Get a little happy.
That's what I get happy.
There you go.
It's all means the same thing. These are all the same things.
Texter in the 251 says, Amy, Grapes of Wrath is my favorite book. And then he or she says, go Amy.
Oh, thank you.
Go Amy.
And like I said, I prefaced.
Go Amy, stay at home and read Steinbeck.
But I prefaced that with 1:30 on a Thursday night hanging out with friends, and then Saturday night hanging out at the Central West End. So Friday was my night to regroup. I'm almost 40. I need sleep.
All I know is that I got to constantly warn the 2 younger people in this room to enjoy their weekends and stop working.
I am enjoying my weekend.
He's wrong.
Hey, we're gonna talk to Steve Shankman about the music scene in St. Louis in the 80s coming up next on KMOX.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price, with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents, and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
how do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Marilyn Facer recommends 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Working with Dave was an absolute delight. Once everything was scheduled, everything went perfect.
Have you ever had a remodel done before?
About 25 years ago, and it was a nightmare.
Was 3-Day Kitchen and Bath on time?
There was no delays. Everything was on time. All the deadlines were met. Everything came at once.
Would you recommend 3-Day Kitchen and Bath to your friends and neighbors?
I highly recommend them to anybody.
Top quality products and craftsmanship in 3 days or less. Call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. Always on time as promised, at the price promised, and your job comes with complete satisfaction guarantee. No ifs, ands, or buts. Visit their website at 3daykitchen.com. That's 3daykitchen.com.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctor's doctors online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky and 78 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. President Biden at a White House outdoor event today signed into law the bipartisan bill that boosts domestic production of computer chips. CBS News White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy explains.
The experts say that this funding will help, but it's more than just the money. Ultimately, what is necessary if you're going to build factories to build nanotechnology here in the United States, you need skilled laborers to work in those factories. And that's a fear that has been expressed, that you could build these facilities, but unless you can find the right people with the right training to work in them, it might be difficult for the United States to maintain that competitive edge.
Presidential historians say nothing like this has ever happened. An FBI raid on a former chief executive.
Southern Methodist University's Jeffrey Engel says it's one of the Trump presidency's fascinating parts.
We've had to reconsider how often we use the word unprecedented.
This fits the bill.
I'm having a hard time finding anything that reaches the scale and the importance.
Engel says the Trump administration's history keeps getting rewritten.
I remember saying when Trump was impeached that this is the first line of his biography for the rest of his life.
Now,
I don't think that's even in the first paragraph.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
23 state attorneys general, including Missouri, tell a federal court that the CDC doesn't have the legal authority to impose a nationwide transportation mask mandate.
The group of prosecutors sued to overturn the mask requirement and filed a brief saying the CDC sought an unprecedented mask mandate regulating every breath of millions of Americans. The group, including Arizona and Texas, among others, is asking the federal appeals court to overturn what it calls the CDC overreach. 17 Republican lawmakers filed a brief Monday supporting that argument. The CDC issued a mandate days after President Biden took office. A Florida judge declared it to be unlawful, and the Justice Department appealed. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
The leader of St. Louis Public Schools is retiring.
Superintendent Kelvin Adams says he will leave the district at the end of the year and will do everything in his power to support efforts to find a new leader. Adams says they've accomplished amazing things over the past 14 years, including bringing the district to full accreditation, doubling pre-K capacity, balancing 13 consecutive budgets, and increasing graduation rates. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Camping is a big deal at the Missouri State Fair, which begins this Thursday in Sedalia. Nearly all of the 1,800 campsites are already booked. Fair Director Mark Wolf says they're already planning to have more space for campers next year.
We're purchasing 200 acres to the west of us. It attaches to our public campground.
And part of that funding was to put in another 600 sites, which will put us at right around 2,400.
Money to make the purchase was secured in the last session of the state legislature. The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk, housing backlog.
Builders are stuck with too many houses. The abrupt halt to the housing boom has left builders that started construction months ago struggling to adapt. The supply of new homes relative to sales in June was the highest since 2010. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 26 points to 32,805. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. And we've got some debris on 270 South before Tesson Ferry's got the two left lanes closed. And we've got the exit ramp closed on 170 South at Scudder Hanley because of an accident this morning. And the weather.
Our cool front continues to sink to the south and to the east. Let's think mainly partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. 82 for the high. Still kind of humid. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. The humidity slowly drops off. 68 Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny skies. Really nice day on Wednesday. 83 degrees. Thursday, partly sunny. 88. Maybe a spot storm. There's basically a dry cool front coming through on Thursday, resulting in high temperatures Friday and Saturday in the 70s to near 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Abe Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's cloudy and 75 in Florissant, 74 in St. Peters, and 78 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Mosby Building Arts.
Mosby Building Arts here, talking about everyone's favorite room in the house, the kitchen. If you love to host parties but are embarrassed by your awful-looking kitchen, our super talented team can design a kitchen you'll be proud to show off. Visit callmosby.com to get started today.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444.
That's 105 on the show here on a Tuesday. Chris Ranji, Amy Marskors, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We're doing 80s week this week. Of course, the Cardinals celebrating the 40th anniversary of the 1982 World Championship this weekend with the Milwaukee Brewers in town. And we decided to take the opportunity to kind of blow it out and have a week where we talk about some of the great things from the 80s. And we've done movie lines later on today. Later on this hour, we're going to do a draft with TV show theme songs, and we'll have fun throughout the rest of the week doing the same types of things, interviews with some of the 82 Cardinals as an example. And we've also been playing 80s music the entire time. And we talked to Mike Claiborne late last week. We were kind of discussing the music scene here. In fact, what we talked about was our first concert, right? Each of us talking about our first concert. And for Ranj and I, that happened in the 80s. And we were talking to Claibs about that. And he said, you know, when you guys are doing this, you need to reach out to Steve Shankman to have him on to talk about the music scene in St. Louis in the 1980s. And we have Steve on the line. He's the president of Contemporary Productions. And first of all, Steve, thanks for doing this. We really appreciate you. How's it going today?
Great. You're talking about one of my favorite times of music. That decade is one that will go down in my history of one of the greatest times for music.
What was it like here in the 80s? I mean, obviously, all genres were kind of popping in the 80s, right? Rock was really big still. Rap and hip hop were really growing in the 80s. Pop music was maybe at its peak during that decade. What was really hit here?
Well, I mean, think about just what happened during the 80s. You had the Fair St. Louis, VP Fair, started in 1981. 1982, Elton John stopped in to play a 2 o'clock concert in the afternoon that he just talked about when he was in town a couple of months ago, how we dressed him up as a policeman. You had Starfest, which we started at the Muni in the 80s, which had acts like Jimmy Buffett and the Beach Boys and Whitney Houston, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I mean, the 80s was just a great time for music, but you're right, all genres. I mean, you think about it. In the 80s, you had Michael Jackson, you had Rush, you had Def Leppard. We did U2 when they played at Graham Chapel. I mean, that was the first time they came to St. Louis in 1981 on the famous contract that I still have that they played for $750. Can you imagine getting Bono to come to play for $700? So, I mean, you know, ZZ Top. I mean, it was a rock time. Come on, it was classic rock. AC/DC, Loverboy was here. Rolling Stones was here in 81. Springsteen in 81. Yes, in 1980. I mean, you look at the Checker Dome, you look at the Playhouse, Westport Playhouse, You look at the American Theater, you look at the Fox, everything. I mean, the Fox started in the 80s, the resurgence of the Fox, the new ownership started back in the early 80s. It was just a great time. And some of the greatest shows that ever played in this country were here in our town, St. Louis.
You mentioned Michael Jackson, the 1988 show. He was supposed to play 2 nights. It was a birthday present from me, middle of March. And I remember he got
March 12th.
Okay, yeah, and he got sick the other night, right? Like isn't that what happened? He was supposed to play 2, but one of the nights he was sick and couldn't perform.
I can only tell you this. It's hard to get a Jackson to show up in St. Louis. I mean, Michael Jackson, let's talk about his sister. She was supposed to play, I think, on a Friday night, and then it got postponed to Saturday night, and then she actually did play on Sunday night.
Huh.
And I'm in the box office, and I get a call from my stage manager, Steve. She just walked off the stage vomiting after her 3rd song.
Oh.
And I had to go out. I had to go out on the stage. I also had one of the security guys on each side. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jackson will not be completing her show tonight. Refunds will be available tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So it was tough to get a Jackson. It was like flying the family stone. You never know if he was coming or not. I remember one time calling him in his hotel room in Chicago the day before the show in St. Louis. Sly, how you feeling? This is the promoter in St. Louis, Steve Shankman. What time can I expect to see you tomorrow? I mean, we had some acts like that, but the Jacksons are great. I mean, Michael made the 80s. Let's be serious. I mean, you could say Duran and U2 and AC/DC and all these, Journey. I mean, they all were big bands in the 80s. But I mean, Michael Jackson was such the consummate entertainer. And even the other night, we had George Benson out at the factory. And who does George mention while he's doing his show is Michael Jackson and the inspiration from Michael. And he also mentioned Whitney Houston. And, Whitney played Starfest back in the mid-'80s.
Oh, wow. Okay, you mentioned the infamous Elton John concert down at the Arch during Fair St. Louis. Can you, for people who don't know that story, you referenced him dressing up as a police officer. Can you relive that story?
So the fair started 41 years ago, right, in 81. And in 82, we started to book some big names, and we decided to do Elton John. And I met with Elton's manager the day before. He says, how are we going to get Sir Elton to the stage? I said, what we usually do is we put the acts over at the Adams Mark, then now it's a Hyatt, and we put them in a van, unmarked van, and we drive them in. We drive them right up to the Arch on the right side, usually on the south side, and then we move over to the sidewalk, and then we open the big plywood doors, and they drive straight in, and that's how we do it. And he says, well, I'll talk to Elton about that. And Elton didn't like that idea. He thought it was pushing people out of the way and, hard to do. It's not safe. So I was talking with Lieutenant Colonel Hackett, Jim Hackett. I said, is there any way we could get Elton in a different way, like a police escort? And then one of us came up with the idea. He's not with us any longer, so I like to say it was him. Why don't we just dress him up as a cop? And we did. We got him a sergeant's uniform. He put it on at the hotel, hat, holster, badge, the whole deal. And the idea was 2 cops would drive him in. He'd be in the back seat. Well, the 2 cops made it backstage with the car, no Elton John. And I mean, I'm having a heart attack. So about 6-7 minutes later, in walks another cop, and he's holding his stick and he's beating his hand. And I look, and his hat's pulled down. And sure enough, I saw he had red shoes on. It was Elton John. And that's how he got there. And the next night,
What,
he was
you
in
walked
Omaha.
there?
He walked out of the car about halfway to the arch leg. He got out and walked in by himself. Nobody knew it. 200,000 people were in the midst of it. Now, a couple of years later, we pulled another stunt. We did this one with Willie Nelson. We dressed him up as a ranger. And with that beard and the way he looked in a ranger's uniform, he walked straight into the fair. Now, we weren't able to do that with everybody, but we did it with those 2, and it was a lot of fun. He told the story at the concert that he was at the Enterprise Center a couple months ago.
That's incredible.
That's really great.
And you were going to say, didn't Elton John keep the badge or part of the uniform?
Got in trouble. He kept the uniform. I got a call from the chief of police the next day because it was on the front page of one of the English papers, and so it was there, and also the Omaha Gazette or whatever. And he says, "Get me the badge back. We can't have a civilian running around with the badge." But you know what? I don't think we ever got the badge back. But when Lieutenant Colonel Hackett retired, I sent a huge picture of that occurrence of him standing with Elton John backstage and me next to the limo that came in that he was supposed to be in, the decoy. And I had Elton. I sent it down to Atlanta, where Elton lives part of the time. And Elton signed it to Colonel Hackett. Good luck on your retirement. And I know he thought a lot about having that picture. That was a big deal. That was a lot of fun.
He's a knight. You can trust him with a badge.
Yeah, he's a knight. Yes. We're talking with longtime St. Louis concert producer Steve Shankman on KMOX. And in that decade, you mentioned U2. That's one of my favorite bands of all time. Prince came through and played as well. Was there an act that came through and played here in that decade that you were either the easiest, best to deal with, or one that you were the most in awe of?
Well, the tough one was 91, July 2nd with Axl Rose.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that one. Yeah.
That's part of the 80s.
Yeah. We know about that one.
People always ask me, what was your best concert? I say Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses. I mean, look at the entertainment people got for $40. I mean, when are you going to witness a riot, a Code 1000 in St. Louis? Most of the time the artists are great to deal with. I mean, on occasion you get silly stuff like, Whitney Houston's getting ready to walk out on stage at the Checker Dome, and Irv Zuckerman, my partner, my friend for many, many years, but my partner for 30 years, we're standing talking behind the stage, and a security guy comes up and says, "Could you stand in that room over there? Miss Houston's getting ready to go on stage." I said, "Well, if she wants to get paid, I'll be standing right here when she goes on stage." and it's funny because no more than 2 days later, I'm doing a show with Billy Crystal at the Fox Theater. And I mentioned this instance with Billy because I thought he'd think it's funny. He said, "Steve, when I did the Grammy Awards, I saw her sitting over on the side of the stage. I figured I'll go over and we'll break the ice. I'll say hello. I'm Billy Crystal." He says, "As I'm walking towards her, these two 6'5" security guys closed in like two huge doors and said, 'I don't think Miss Houston is talking to anybody right now.'" I mean, this is Billy Crystal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm just a little guy promoter from St. Louis. Anyway, listen, her music was fantastic. Just like we hated to see what happened yesterday. I did an interview last night about Olivia Newton-John. What a love she was, and she was in the 80s and all that, Grease and all of that. But really, I tell you, a cool concert was doing the Police at Stages, January 24th of 1980. $5 tickets. This is Sting.
And that was over in Madison, right?
Granite
Stages?
City. Granite City, it says on the ticket, because I looked up the ticket last night. That was pretty cool. The boss, he's always cool to work with. Then like a funny story with the boss is before he was married, he'd always block out certain seats that he couldn't sell because he wanted to come to St. Louis and sightlines. And then, he would look and see if those were the best seats. And then later on, he sold all the seats because after getting married, I guess he felt we need a lot of people in the place. Let's sell all the tickets. But he's always conscious about the public and put it on a great show. But you got to talk a little bit about Starfest. This was a reason to do shows at the Muni, which it would be swell to do that again. But in the 80s, we started Starfest. But the acts, Jimmy Buffett, Beach Boys, Starship, Kenny Loggins, Santana, Whitney Houston, Al Jarreau, Phil Collins. This was concert season at the Muni that started, I think, around 83 and went towards the end of that decade. But to see concerts in 11,000 open air, this is before Riverport, obviously, was really one of the great community things we could do for St. Louis. And it was done when they weren't having the book shows, when the Broadway shows weren't playing, we would stick these concerts in there. And that's something that was really huge. And we got to love the Checker Dome. I mean, I remember Billy Joel saying in the 80s, you may be able to change the name, but you can't change the sound.
Yeah. Steve, we're up on a break, but I wanted to just throw on a mention here, or at least throw out a question to you about what, if there's anything we need to be paying attention to coming up, anything new that we want to, that's not from the 80s, but that we may want to be paying attention about that you're working on.
Well, I'll answer that question, but you didn't ask me what my first concert was.
What's your first concert?
So my first concert was Dave Brubeck the Dave Brubeck Quartet. It was at the Carasan Room in 1964. Take Five was, he changed polyrhythms with Take Five 4 times. And that was my favorite concert. What's coming up is, again, a great year of concerts. The Fox, Stiefel Theater, what they're doing at the factory is great. Michael Steinberg, this was his concept. We were a big part of it, and the architecture and the way it was built. Keep your eye on some of the concerts getting talked about there, some of which are 80 acts. So we have everything from Olivia Rodrigo to Pat Benatar. So keep your eye on the factory, what's going on at the St. Louis Concert Park, and what's going on at Riverport. It's just coming out of COVID. It's been a fantastic year of concerts. And next year, look out for some new things that may be happening that haven't happened before.
Well,
I'll leave you with that.
We get closer to that. We'll reach out. We'll have you back on and talk about those. But, man, we really appreciate the stories. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it anytime.
You've got it. Steve Shankman, the president of Contemporary Productions. I could talk about those stories all day. I could talk about
love
them
it.
Literally all day. It's the Police for $5.
It's awesome. Awesome. I didn't know about the Janet Jackson thing.
Oh,
so that happened early August 1990, where she was sick and she left the stage.
But what are you going to do if you're sick?
I mean, you can't.
You got to stay off the stage when you're sick like that.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hi, this is Charlie Brendan. Do you have a home or a business made out of stone or brick? If so, listen up, because Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis for 31 years. Morelli Tuck Pointing can work on completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches. This time of year, people notice that their patios are somewhat cattywampus and those bricks need realignment. How about caulking, waterproofing? Morelli is a family-owned and operated business. Longtime employees there feel like family. And of course, everyone at Morelli is very proud to be a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to local companies with exceptional customer service. Today, you can call to request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387. When it comes to bricks and stone, go to the best. Morelli Tuck Pointing at MorelliTuckPointing.com. 54 years, Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. Get a dozen award-winning donuts for under $10. Just bring in the coupon from the website on your smartphone. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Florissant. Get your dozen and grab a coffee or latte today.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
What is these storms and the devastation the rain has caused with the flooding? I mentioned Stray Paws before. They're a rescue place to find dogs, and they try to find them forever homes. And they lost 10 puppies. They couldn't get to them in time because the water came up so quick. And the building, I was just out there, but everybody's down there and they're all volunteer and they're trying to put the building back together as quickly as possible so they can help the stray dogs. So if they ever needed anybody's help, it would be now. If you would like, or if you find it in your heart, if you have an extra dollar or two, if you could, go to my website. It's bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. Go to on the front page where you see like those 3 little bars up in the top right-hand corner. Click on that, and Stray Paws should come up, and just click on that, and you'll have all their information, their email, and you can contact them directly. It would be greatly appreciated. And God bless.
Is your retirement withdrawal strategy built for a looming recession? Do you know which accounts you should draw from first? What are common pitfalls? How can you minimize your tax bite? Join Edelman Financial Engines on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our timely virtual event, Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy. You can register for free at planefe.com. We'll look at financial pitfalls to avoid and how to help make sure your financial plan is built to last. Whether it's sequence of withdrawals, when to start taking Social Security, or staying diversified, we'll help you understand the steps you can take to make sure your financial plan can work for you. Don't miss this important virtual event. Join us for Recession and Your Retirement Withdrawal Strategy on Tuesday, August 16th at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. There's no cost to attend and no obligation. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com. Edelman Financial Engines. From here forward.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
E.T. phone home. E.T. phone home.
If all goes according to plan, Columbia, this nation's first space shuttle, will soar like a skylark next March.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
All right, after the 1:30 news, we're going to do a draft of the best theme songs from the best TV shows in the 1980s, and then we'll let you guys vote at the show KMOX on Twitter. We'll post a poll, whose team wins. Amy was the winner yesterday. Ranj finished second.
She
I
did
finished
win.
third.
Yeah, whatever.
Like I said, though, I mean, we'll see if the trend of who gets to pick first holds up. Probably not, because I don't think I'm going to go for the most popular one. I've got one very specific one in mind that I'm going to pick, regardless of the weight that it carries.
Okay.
But I wanted to that clip right there that we just had in the rejoin of Luke Skywalker talking about him being a Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the coolest things in the movies in the 80s. There was his going from the whiny little kid to just a badass.
Yeah, he always kept a little bit of the whiny element.
Little bit.
But which resurfaced in the sequels. But yes, he did clean it up. I forgot how whiny he was until you watch episode 4, and then he's like, come on.
Yeah.
He's always
Oh yeah. They clearly
It is
wanted
pretty
him to
bad.
do that, right? They wanted him to come off as like a child.
Basically,
in a way.
yeah, like a bratty little kid that doesn't know the world, all that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then he kissed his sister, and then he became a Jedi.
He didn't know. He didn't know. It's not his fault.
Yeah. By the way, everybody got mad at us yesterday for ruining Back to the Future.
Oh,
our
well.
boss texted us and I almost fired you guys
I
because
mean,
you guys
the
ruined
mom,
it.
it wasn't just that she kissed her son, but like that beginning scene where she takes his pants, that's creepy.
Like here's the gross thing about it. She was probably thinking about him at home,
Oh gosh.
I don't mean it like that. I mean like when you're come on, Amy. I mean like when when you like somebody, you think about them sometimes. You're out and about and you're like, oh, I wonder what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like his mother was thinking about him in that weird way. Didn't know it was her son.
This is kind of the point of why it's actually a creepy movie. Like why, you couldn't write a better way for him to.
Well, you guys have ruined it for me too.
Save his mom from Biff. It had to be that his mom had a thing for him.
Yeah.
There's no other way to write that.
I don't
so
know.
That it wouldn't
That's a good
be
question.
Weird and creepy.
I'm sure there's another vehicle to have done that. I don't know what it would be because I'm not a writer.
But that's the whole thing. Like back then, 80, they just did things like that, and everybody's like, "Yep, well, seems totally normal." And then you think about it now, and you're like, "That is super weird."
Yeah.
Amy can't.
Amy's like, I don't have any other words. Yeah.
She's already grossed out.
All right, we're going to draft the best TV theme songs from the 80s coming up after the news.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
You want some real weird stuff?
Yes.
I'm in one of those moods.
Have it.
What's the difference between real life and dreams? How do we really know that this is real life? Because every morning or whatever in the night when I wake up from a dream, I'm surprised to be in this world. Dream life or real life, whatever, like, oh my God, I was in the radio business and I was bald. And then you wake up, you're like, oh, that's right, crap.
It's a dream come true. The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
Is your bank, brokerage, or your insurance company telling you to buy an annuity? They may have limited access to the best rates available. You need solutions, not someone pitching you a specific product. Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
With Pedal the Cause, you can make a real difference in the fight against cancer. Ride your bike, grab a spot in the spin zone, volunteer, and join the celebration September 23rd through 25th. 100% of participant-raised funds support innovative cancer research at Siteman Cancer Center and Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Together, we can create a world without cancer. Get started now at pedalthecause.org. That's pedalthecause.org.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
At 1:30, it's cloudy and 78 degrees downtown at the Arch. The FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate as part of an investigation into whether he took classified records from the White House to his Florida residence. Mr. Trump says agents opened a safe at his home, and he likens their search to prosecutorial misconduct. A tax credit of up to $7,500 could be used to defray the cost of an electric vehicle under the Inflation Reduction Act, now moving toward final approval in Congress. But the auto industry warns that the vast majority of EV purchases won't qualify for a tax credit that large. Veterans Saturday Night Live cast member Kenan Thompson will host next month's Emmy Awards. Thompson calls it ridiculously exciting to be a part of the ceremony honoring TV's best. We've got some debris on 270 South before Tesson Ferry. The two left lanes are closed, and a stall on 270 South past I-44 on the right shoulder. We'll have a mix of showers and storms early, but heavy rain in parts of the area, moving on to mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 82 degrees. Partly cloudy overnight, low 68. For Wednesday, mostly sunny and nice with a high of 83. Sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, your premier provider of fences, decks, patios, sunrooms, and more. Call them for a free estimate today, now offering 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. It's cloudy and 78 downtown at the Arch right now. All the news you need for your day is on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Carol Daniel for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
The Cardinals host the Brewers August 12th through 14th and celebrate the Heartland Coca-Cola 1982 World Champions 40th Anniversary Weekend. On Friday, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older will take home an embroidered 1982 V-neck jersey courtesy of Phillips 66. That's Friday, August 12th. The Cardinals, the Brewers, an 82 V-neck jersey. Great seats remain. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/promotions.
Do you feel the need for speed? Then fly over to Busch Stadium for Top Gun Maverick Night on Friday, August 12th. That night, the Cardinals host the Brewers, and with the purchase of a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals t-shirt featuring our favorite co-pilots, Uncle Charlie and Yachty. That's August 12th, Top Gun Maverick Night at Busch Stadium. For tickets or more information, visit cardinals.com/theme.
The show celebrating all things 80s.
Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go Ghostbusters.
We've got Bush. I accept your nomination to serve as our party's candidate for vice president.
Just say no.
Now, I'm supposed to babysit a couple of Miami Vice cops.
I promise, teach karate.
Go ahead, make my day.
It's going to be a draft every day during 80s week. Although I won't be in the draft for the next 3 days because I'm going to be on vacation. But
good for you.
I'll check
Way to
out
be
the
a team
podcast
player.
maybe and see how it goes. But we're doing the top theme songs from the 80s TV shows. And theme songs in the 80s were like a deal. Like they were a thing.
Yes.
They had cheesy lyrics. They were long, like they were minute long. I like the newer style. I like it better when you just have like a little quick musical thing and then you play the show just starts. I don't know that I need all the build up.
Those theme songs often told the whole story or captured the theme.
Like the Brady
leitmotif.
Bunch one did that. That's not 80s, but they kind of told you the entire, well, here's the story.
Mm-hmm. I think the last one I could think of that did it was in the 90s, and that was The Nanny. Quite literally.
I have no idea what that would be.
all the words. She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens when her boyfriend kicked her
What
out
year was
in
that?
one of those crushing scenes.
Would it have been Friends? Friends had one. I guess it really wasn't an explainer
But
of
it's
the.
not an explainer.
Theirs was just a song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
theirs was
yeah,
It was
yeah,
an
yeah. That's
actual
right.
song by an actual band.
This one told the story.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I don't think there's been one
Well,
since.
the one so I get the first pick today, right?
You do.
So
We're going to go you,
and then you,
me, and then Amy.
and then Amy. Just reversing yesterday. Yesterday we went youngest to oldest. We'll go oldest to youngest today. I get the first round pick. Mine is not telling the story, but mine is the coolest because of the visuals. Come on! Miami Vice is the number one draft pick.
I knew you were going to do this too.
How could you not know?
Because you went to Miami, you
know how many-
lived there.
You know how many times I drove down that same causeway in my own Ferrari playing that really loud so I could feel that feeling of being Sonny Crockett?
Did you feel the feeling?
I did. I felt the
Did you?
feeling
Did
of
you?
my own black Ferrari?
Were
going
you
over the
wearing?
causeway
Were you wearing a white blazer
with a pink shirt,
sleeves rolled up?
sleeves rolled up, pants rolled up at the bottom, dock shoes with no socks, whole deal.
Wow.
I was Sonny Crockett. Didn't
You
even
were Mr.
at
Crockett.
that time. I had
But-
to not shave for about 7 days to get to the
Yeah.
5 o'clock shadow.
You know,
And you should have been wearing a sun hat too, because you've got freckles and
Yeah.
so you know you burn easily.
We just did
So
it- we just
so
did it-
Kevin,
I just did it in the evening.
Kevin's got like the rolled up sleeves
Mm-hmm.
on the blazer and the teal shirt and the
Yeah.
white pants
Yeah.
and a sun hat,
Yeah.
Yes.
so he doesn't burn.
You know
I had
what's
a-
interesting?
I had a cabeza.
The only Crockett I knew of was Davy. I did not know of
God.
Sonny
Oh,
Crockett.
yeah, that's too bad
That's-
for you. You
Yeah.
missed out on all the Crockett and Tubbs adventures.
All right,
And
so
every famous person ever over the next 20 years appeared on Miami Vice.
Yeah.
They were all like drug dealers and pushers and something on the side. They were always the bad guys.
Yeah.
well, I think it's a good selection. I don't know if it's great,
It's
but
the
it's a
number
good
one pick.
It is the number one pick overall for Kevin. The number 2 overall pick, which belongs to me.
No!
I have already beaten all of your asses
I know you
with
won.
this.
That's the ace.
Yeah, it's
This is
Cheers.
This is the overrated Duke player coming out of the
oh
draft.
come on.
Come on.
No,
He's gonna
cheers.
win.
I got the guy out
No.
of like France who nobody talks
No.
about, but becomes Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, get lost.
Okay, so
This
here
is
no.
this is legitimately a good one.
This is maddening because my goal was to pick the ones that I thought would win. But now since I'm
Oh,
obviously
so just
going
pick
to
your
lose,
favorites.
I'm going to pick my favorites.
I
And
know which one is going to be first.
I think I do too.
I think you don't.
Okay,
Really?
go.
Yes. So my first one is actually going to be Full House.
Oh my gosh. For the bass in this one, they really pumped it.
I
can't
told
take it anymore.
everybody that was Rod Stewart.
What?
It's not.
What?
What?
If you tell people who don't know that it's Rod Stewart,
I think it's
they'll believe you more often than not.
probably Uncle Jesse's band.
No,
His
Uncle
crappy
Jesse,
band.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Notice,
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Notice none of us have picked the ones that tell the story of the show yet.
Ah, that's true.
Whatever happened to predictability?
All right,
Oh.
back to the second round, top of the second round. I got to go another all-timer. The A-Team, man.
I like this pick.
This is a great pick.
This was on my board.
Here's the problem with the A-Team, though. Best thing about them, they were like crack military experts. Like they were the best of the best of the best. In all those gunfights, nobody ever got shot.
Keeping it family
A lot
friendly.
of vans got their tires shot out.
Yeah.
Shot out. Yep.
And I love the fact
A lot of
that
guys hiding behind car doors.
B.A. Baracus
Yeah.
couldn't fly. They had
No.
to tranquilize him to get him on a
Yeah, the
plane.
biggest, toughest guy there, Mr. T.
Who, by the way, Mr. T, the real Mr. T, used to be a bouncer at a bar
Yep.
in Chicago. Like
Yep.
that's where he got to start.
And
No
obviously
kidding.
he was Clubber Lang.
Yeah, he was Clubber Lang. All right. With the my number 2
Okay.
selection. I moved up to take your pick.
Look at your big dumb face.
I stole your pick. Golden Girls.
Rachi just traded 2 future
I
first-rounders
took-
to get this.
I traded 5 overall first-round picks to steal
Yeah.
Golden Girls from Amy.
I hope you fall out of
Sorry.
your stupid
Sorry
chair.
about your stupid luck.
Ugh.
Golden Girls.
You know, Amy was gaming this too. She's like, these two guys are never
yeah,
going
they'll
to pick
never
Golden
take
Girls.
Golden
I'm
Girls.
going to save it.
But what a classic. What a classic of a theme song.
So far, you have taken my.
All right, Amy. Amy, go right
I
ahead.
don't even want to play this stupid game
Well,
anymore.
sorry. You're going to have to now. Amy, what is
Hey,
your...
you're the one that went with Full House.
I do love Full House.
Amy, number 2
should've-
pick.
I didn't think that Ranj would just I'm sorry.
He
When
just-
you
he just Pearl Harbored you.
pull
I
this
did.
knife out of my back,
Yeah, well,
Jeez.
hey, we're trying to win here. I'm not trying to make friends. It's show business, not show friends.
I have nothing left.
You have nothing.
Come
You have all kinds of
Okay,
great selections.
I'm gonna pick
Yes.
the Jeffersons.
That's a good one.
Oh, we're playing both of them.
No, why'd you do that?
I don't know why I did that. I was trying to help out.
I'm like, what's happening?
Jefferson's is a good pick. Amy, that's
know,
not a
you're
bad pick. I mean, it's no Golden Girls, but it's a good pick.
Also, like musical quality, way better than the musical quality of almost all the other.
Oh
ones.
yeah, I mean it's
Honestly, I don't think I've ever felt this much dislike for a co-host.
oh god.
Like it's real. I feel a little nauseated.
But you made a great pick.
You did make a really nice pick.
Jefferson's is great. It is really, really good. I feel good about
Tells
it.
the story of what's happening, but it's also a good song.
Mhm.
To me, the only ones here that are good are that one and Miami Vice.
I
Like,
can't
good
believe
songs.
I honestly can't believe the Jeffersons fell to number 6 overall. Amy, so
Because
you That's right.
you out of the spite and vindictiveness of your heart
All right.
stole the Golden Girls from me.
So we just got a text. 636 says the Golden Girls does win, actually. And I'm legit wearing a Golden Girls tank top right now.
Yes.
Wait a minute. We need this texture. Is it the one that
Amy
is-
knows which one it is.
Is it the Andy Warhol where it's all the Golden Girls faces like the Marilyn Monroe Andy Warhol shirt? I have that tank top.
636, there's a request for you. And if there's a different one,
Yeah.
tell Amy where she can get the new one.
I have a Golden Girls tank top. I also have a Full House tank top. It says squad goals with the entire Full House family. I'll wear that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real old
Good
lady.
call.
Kevin.
By the way, I got to correct Amy on something
Uh-oh.
related to the Golden Girls because you mentioned this last week off air. I don't think on
Yeah.
the air, but off air, you were like, Blanche was only like 45 or 40.
Seven.
No, but
47.
I just read on that afterwards she was supposed to be 53 at the start of that show.
Okay.
But that's like my age.
She might have been 47 in real life.
How could they have looked that old at like what age I am now?
That would have been your dating pool.
I know.
She lived
crazy.
She lived a hard life, man.
You know what? The
Is that
Golden
the truth
Girls
for all of them? They're all like, "Yep, well,
Yep.
we partied for a long
picture
time."
it, Sicily, 1936. Okay, but seriously, the Golden Girls were the original Sex in the City, very progressive and modern. Kevin,
Okie dokie.
your turn.
I need to pick. Let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna go with boy. I'm deciding between two. Like, I'm not gonna go with the one that would be the correct pick because there is a correct pick here that could help me win.
Okay.
But I'm not going for that. I'm going to go with the one the show that I liked better, a show that I think is underrated. And we got a text about this a minute ago as well.
Yes.
I loved Night Court.
I did too, man. I loved Night Court so much.
I felt like a grown-up when I was watching Night Court.
Man, it was
Felt like I was learning stuff.
It was my first favorite sitcom.
Really?
Night Court, yeah. And and here's what's funny. Night Court was on Thursdays. And there was a time that I tuned into Night Court one night expecting to see Night Court, and Seinfeld was on instead, and I was furious. Furious.
Oh.
But I loved Seinfeld. Like, I ended up loving
I don't
Seinfeld
know
as my number one.
if this was in the beginning credits or if it was just an episode, but I feel like Night Court, I was super young, was the first time I ever saw the concept of flashing somebody, like with a coat.
Oh.
Was that in the credits or the beginning?
It was in
Of
something.
Night Court?
Of
Yeah.
Night
I
Court.
think it might have been.
The Night
You're
Court
right.
flasher.
I mean, I must have been like 4.
I
or
gotta be
5,
honest.
And I'm like, what is he doing with his coat?
Exactly what you think.
It's just hot.
I'm glad you picked Night Court because then that takes the onus off of me to have to pick it.
Good.
So that I can go with this. The Greatest American Hero.
Oh,
the
worst TV
stupidest show.
Yeah.
Stupidest show maybe ever on TV. But I love the theme song. The theme song I don't think has anything to do with the show at all, but I loved the theme song
It was
for
the
Greatest
worst
American
superhero.
Hero.
He's this guy with like curly blonde hair. He's skinny
And
and,
he was
lame.
he was a dumb superhero. He wasn't good, right?
No,
Like, he was
like the
bad.
worst thing ever.
Yeah.
All right.
I loved it.
Well,
Amy,
since all
the
hope
final
is-
pick.
All hope is lost. I am picking
Mr. Irrelevant.
Sentimentality with Family Ties.
I bet we've been together for a million years.
I hate the song right there on that line.
That's not possible, though. I'm gonna die way before that happens.
How dated
All right,
does
that's
all
enough.
this sound?
I
That was
don't
horrible.
remember that song.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the
Really?
hook.
You want to hear the hook?
I kind of want to hear the hook because oh yeah,
This is like a
right.
legit song. This song makes me want yes.
What
This
a
song
it's
makes
a
me
bad
want to
song.
take down wallpaper.
Horrible. What a horrible ending. Oh God, that's enough.
We need to keep that.
Oh.
Every time Raj makes one of his dumb points.
You're the one that picked this song.
We're gonna
Oh.
We gotta keep that for when you make a point.
By the way, we got a text, and we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and kind of reset the tweet, and we'll tell you what the teams are, and you can vote.
Yes.
We'll get that posted during the break. Amy636 said, if your text line can receive pictures, I just sent one. Got it at Target a few years ago. We cannot get pictures on the text line that we have. But just answer Amy's question. If it's not the Andy Warhol, then she'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Golden Girls t-shirts.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Ken Newbold at Newbold Toyota. If you're worried about gas prices, Toyota has the most models of hybrid electrics in the industry. From the best-selling Camry to the best-selling RAV4, we've got it all. So come see us. That's Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
The Biz Dash is St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. St. Louis City SC's all-new Centene Stadium is the site of this year's Biz Dash, and participants will get a chance to see it up close. With music, food, drinks, and more, the Biz Dash is the ultimate office party. Thursday, September 22nd at Centene Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Mission St. Louis, empowering entire families to break the cycle of poverty. You can help keep St. Louis strong. Learn more at missionstl.org/KMOX.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. More Amy, more Kevin, more Chris. What is this weird show? The Show on KMOX.
All right, so our draft of the best theme songs for 80s television shows is over. I chose Miami Vice, the A-Team, and Night Court. Ron chose Cheers, sniped the Golden Girls away from Amy, and then also took The Greatest American Hero. And then, Amy, you had Full House, The Jeffersons, and Family Ties. Those are the three that'll go up on the poll at the show KMOX. We got a text from the 812 says, what about Dallas? Pretty dramatic one.
I don't remember this.
That sounds like a
I didn't watch
law
Dallas, though.
enforcement song.
Yeah, I didn't watch Dallas. I don't know why. Maybe I was just too young to care about drama stuff. But they also said, what about The Love Boat? I thought The Love Boat was more 70s. Was it 80s?
It was well into the 80s. In fact, if I remember right, the final episode aired in like 1990. So it went all the way through the
I
decade.
have never seen an episode of The Love Boat.
Oh, I have. Captain Stubing?
Saw quite a few.
Yeah, of course.
Was there a rich lady on The Love Boat?
Always, every week.
Oh, a different rich lady?
Yeah, they had different people all the time. All the people who have been famous throughout the run of The Love Boat appeared on The Love Boat.
I think I thought there was like a rich lady, like in Gilligan's Island.
We got a couple of other texts that were like, hey, Magnum P.I., where was Magnum P.I.? That was a solid contender, just didn't get picked.
Yeah,
Producer Dave was Tom Selleck yesterday.
I imagine that Producer Dave would have gone with that if he was participating.
If he was getting a vote.
We just didn't have time for Dave.
No.
There's no time for Dave.
We got one that we really missed and should have been a draft pick was the Dukes of Hazzard. In fact, we didn't even grab the song because we didn't think of it, and that's a big miss.
Yeah.
So good call on that one, 314. That's 100% correct.
Can you hum the song?
The Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Just give me the first few notes.
Actually, I can't remember it now.
Oh, it's the song. It says, just a good old boys.
Never meaning no harm.
Yeah.
That one.
It's
That's
just, that's all it was.
That's
all I
that to the
remember.
Three's Company tune?
It is kind of the same. There's another one.
Knock on
Three's
that
Company
door.
was great, too.
That was the 70s.
Yeah.
Was it? It was
I think
both.
it was the
It was
70s.
both, maybe. But it seemed like it was that. We got. Oh, by the way, somebody, our texter in the 636, Amy, says they added to the show with the picture of the T-shirt, the Golden Girls T-shirt, so you can now, you can look and see whether or
Doing that
not that
now.
is the same shirt. I don't know if that has been. I can't see it. I don't know. I can't find it.
So the poll, by the way, is on our Twitter account right now. Go to Twitter at the show KMOX. That's our handle, and you can go to it. You can see the teams, and then you can vote for who you think drafted best. Clearly, it's me, but you get to pick for yourself.
Should I vote honestly?
Yeah, vote for who you think. You don't have to vote for yourself.
I'm winning with 100% of the vote.
All right,
With
now
one
it's
vote?
tied.
Is there
Now
one vote,
it's
Kevin?
tied. Kevin and I are the only ones who voted. Ranji now has a vote.
I got to vote now. Hold on a second. I got to get up there and
It's a
vote.
three-way tie.
But really, you should be following the show KMOX anyway.
At the show KMOX.
At the show KMOX.
Wait, there's two votes, and they're both for me.
What? That doesn't sound right.
Amy, did you vote incorrectly?
No.
Did you pick the wrong team?
No, mine's just not showing up. Okay, this is not the Golden Girls tank top that I have, but I love this. This
So you're
one's
going to
super
get this.
retro. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Well done.
Golden Girls
Well
tank top.
done to the texter.
As I sit here underneath my little pullover, I've got my Star Wars Stormtroopers.
I got a Star Wars shirt
Do
on
you?
too.
Oh,
Do
wait a
ya?
minute.
Look.
You guys are giving me trouble for having a
Yeah.
Golden Girls and a Full House shirt.
This
and you're
is
both
way
wearing
cooler.
Star Wars is cool. Golden Girls is dumb.
Golden Girls is literally the tip of the spear for women's movement in modern history.
Hey, man, hey, show's over. I'm done.
The theme
Ran out
song's
my
great.
words.
Yeah.
Theme song is
Amy,
great.
you know what we say about that? Sha-la-la-la. Stupid. My stupid points.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but Amco to fix your car? For over